Come on, Tommy. Processed food aisle's calling our name.
Yeah. Nothing screams success like sprinting for frozen pizza at 9 p.m. Remember me? Yeah, you bought me, wore me, stacked me, and then tossed me in a drawer forever. I'm Fazby Forgot, back for my 15 seconds of fame.
I'm trying to tactfully have a conversation with you about
You had your smash burgers like an aphrodisiac and you went and got down.
Talking thumbs is just another fad, like these sugar bombs.
So is AI. Just a fad.
I was like, hey, let's go and have some fun. Then we'll go crush the burger. You don't want to have the big bloated gut.
Well, usually I eat right before and right after.
Here's a better one for you. Are you asking the right questions or just the easy ones? Ask better, live smarter.
Yeah. Well, and I do enjoy eating during as well.
You know what we should do? Stock up on these. Nice use of the word should. Very success-oriented.
I'm telling you, the attention war. Boring is dead, man.
Warning, 87% of the info in your feed is noise. Activating truth filters. Focus only on what matters.
You gotta learn how to have conversations that are entertaining and influential like Keith and Johnny are having right now. Oh,
Man, I have to buy this stuff. Who's got time to cook? Yeah, nothing says peak health like chemicals you can't pronounce.
Hey, drop the processed junk. Real food, real results. Cut this, lose double.
There's even a system that I
oh my God.
Everything's a system, man.
Relax, Tommy. I'll try to eat clean next week. Translation, you won't. Delete these words. Should, have to, try. Replace them, and watch your brain rewire for success. AI, talking thumbs, diets, all fads, brother. Real humans like us don't fall for that.
Right. Definitely real.
I wanted to say this. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Johnny, and friends.
All of this and so much more on the next live Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Subscribe now to be notified. Yes, I'm real.
But if you're watching the show on demand, because this live show turns into a podcast. Jimmy, don't record that, though. If you are watching this show as a podcast, on demand, not live, I invite you to come and join us in the Mornings in the Lab community.
True motherfucking story.
Better answers in life, business, and relationships. You need to master the art of asking better questions. And today, we're going to show you exactly how. Coming up today on Friday of Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Johnny, and all of our friends. It's starting right now. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, where
When something negative comes up,
Building muscle improves blood flow.
From squirting to squirreling.
Start small, build up, and expand from there.
Be entertained by fun over here.
How have I slept? Has my sleep been good? That's
Doesn't come from breaking the rules, you guys. Hey, have you ever thought about this? Every breakthrough, every deal, every connection starts with the right question. Yeah, the right question. The right question. That's what we're diving into this morning, fellas, because when you shift your mindset to ask sharper, deeper, more intentional questions, you unlock opportunities most guys, most humans don't even see. But before we get into that, I'm just going to say this. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, your live morning show, your daily accountability partner, and the place where men get real talk, entertaining conversation to start the day right. Quick reminder before we get in, guys, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment to stay plugged in. This is an R-rated experience, boys. So kids, either walk your parents out of the room or put the headphones in, because I'm certain dad is not responsible enough to do that for you today. And as always, don't hit the snooze button, guys. If you hit it today, you're 9 minutes behind the guy who didn't. I invite you to not do that tomorrow. Trust me, those 9 minutes will add up over the year. You do not want to be the guy that's 9 minutes behind. This is the day to get up Get after it. Go tackle business, fitness, life, and all those relationships around you. We're going to do that with asking better questions. We're here to help you build that momentum, stay accountable, and stack those habits with a crew that actually cares about your growth. Today, we got a packed morning loop to get your brain firing, guys. We're going to break down the food switch that doubles weight loss without calorie counting. Guys, we got the biggest hack this morning on the show. We talk about it daily. Research is telling us it's true. We're dropping it for you later today. Revealing three words, three words you should delete from your vocabulary if you want to succeed. And then we're going to walk you through how to filter truth from the tidal waves of noise. Noise everywhere. We were talking attention yesterday. We're going to talk about getting truth from all of the noise we are drowning in daily. Plus, current events you don't want to miss, from AI bots building toxic echo chambers without human beings helping, to the raging debate. Are we raising boys to fight back or fold in? And some of the new experiments where AI is literally rewriting physics in ways scientists can't explain, but somehow works. And then for center stage, we're going to go back in time. Remember fads? Fads, F-A-D. Is AI a fad? Is AI a fad? Remember sea monkeys? Remember fidget spinners? We're going to have some fun today on Free For All Friday, talk fads. We got Marty in the lab today. We got Johnny in the lab today. I think Matt Roof is going to jump into the lab today. And guys, don't get too comfortable reminiscing, because after that, we're going to flip the script. Hour 2 is where we sharpen the blade. Today's deep dive is all about the art of asking better questions, because the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your questions. And if you've been stuck with the same tired answers, you're probably asking the wrong questions, you guys. They're also going to explore still 3 simple words that could be holding you back, and then sharpen your morning mindset with tips on how to filter for truths when you're drowning in noise. Hour 3, we get into inside the AI lab. We're going to get after it. All right, Jimmy, let's get the transition going. Let's get into the morning loop. You guys can join the call right now. You guys can join the show live with us right now, or in the mornings in the live community. You can do it. 431-300-3005. Phone, text, or leave a voicemail. Come say hi in the comments. The vertical stream is active. Good morning, Lauren. Good morning, B-Drive. Good morning, Roofy. Good morning, crew. Good morning, Marty. Good morning, Johnny. What's going on, boys?
What's happening,
baby? What's happening, baby? What's going on, baby?
I'm
baby.
Feeling jacked today on a Friday. Had a good sleep, getting up, getting after it. Got some great activity in this morning. Happy with the results of our content this week. I don't know, just feeling good about myself, and I'm feeling good about you too.
Well, thank you, man. Love that, man. I think I'm finally caught back up on East Coast time.
Yeah, are you? Yeah,
I was on Central time. Yeah, threw me off just a little bit.
Marty, Johnny, hold on. We got to pull the fucking violin out, man. The guy moves 59 minutes. I'm not going to call 60. He moves 60 minutes to a different time zone, and it all whacks him up. Marty, come on, brother.
Well, because he hasn't been exposed to the time differences that are like 13, 15 now.
Marty comes
I've been to Thailand. I've been to Thailand, but when you have systems, it kind of mess you up a little bit. I learned that from Johnny. So now Johnny telling me that my system messed up.
No, the systems is what keeps you from getting messed up, brother. You're lacking some systems. That's why you're bitching over 60 minutes.
No, I'm playing.
Marty jumps in twice a week. We jump all over. He's like, fuck that. I'm never going back on the show, boys.
I finally got 8 hours of sleep. I don't usually get that. So I got some 8 hours of sleep. But
I could just see how not so much the time change, but just the the change in the routine and being around family and the excitement that could wear you out.
Yeah, it did. It definitely did. Yeah, my dad and my uncle were too excited to have me around. So
my dad and my uncle were too excited to have you around. Hey, Johnny, do you remember sea monkeys? Did you have a sea monkey, Johnny, growing up? Please tell me you did, man. Please tell me you did. Please.
I mean, the name sounds familiar, but I'm drawing a bit of a blank. What is it?
And I know Marty has no fucking clue
what the hell is going on, man. What the fuck?
Nope.
What are we talking
Marty,
about, guys?
What is it?
Those little things that, Johnny, when you and I grew up reading the comics, and at the back of the comics, you could buy those sea monkeys, those little like critters you'd put into the jar and they'd grow into these, you'd feed them, and they're like the little pet.
Would they actually like grow like a plant or just grow because of the water?
Grow because of the water. They're like little.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I
didn't know they were called. I didn't know they were called sea monkeys. I just call those little fuckers you drop in water and watch them grow.
Well, hey nation, I know Roofy knows about sea monkeys. Today we're going to look back at fads. Just 25 different fads. It's Free for All Friday. I like having these ridiculous conversations. And I had sea monkeys. I remember, guys, so they weren't available in Canada. I was a young man with my mom down to Grand Forks, North Dakota, Johnny Marty, just up the road here. And I remember going into Target. And I remember like it was yesterday. And there was a display and there were sea monkeys. And I bought myself some sea monkeys. And I got home and I raised them. And yeah, it was just.
But once you put them in the water, they expand.
Yeah.
The game's over, right?
Yeah. That's exactly.
Well, what the fuck are you raising?
Well, I was 12. I don't know, but I was feeling good.
You were raising it during the growth period. Once they expanded to full, like every other 12-year-old, once it stops moving, you throw it away.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. Marty, what about fads for you, man? Marty, we're talking fads today. You know, you're the young critter in our group. There's got to be one fad that has very much had an impact on you as a young boy growing up. Come on, man. What's one thing that you had as a fad?
Probably tadpoles or Pokemon cards.
Oh yeah. Oh, you Pokemon card guy?
Oh man. I was big on Pokemon. I love Pokemon. Yeah.
You know, it's weird. We talk about these fads, especially when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing, I mean, I knew it then a little bit, but I'm realizing now looking back, I really leaned away from fads. I didn't like, and whether it was because at that point I was, you know, kind of an outcast, so to speak.
Yes.
And I wasn't really accepted.
You were a fat son of a bitch.
Well, the fat son of a bitch was just a side effect of being a dumb son of a bitch.
Marty, he didn't get the sea monkeys because he was afraid he was going to eat them.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, probably.
But I think. Well, funny enough, I think I leaned away from pop culture. Like if something got too popular, I went away from it.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not surprised by that. I'm not surprised at all, actually. And I'm not surprised at all, actually. Sea monkeys, Mike Sullivan. And that's exactly it, Sully. Sea monkeys were advertised for sale in the back of comics. That's exactly where I saw them, 100%. And then, yeah, you're right, Michael. They were brine shrimp eggs. That's exactly what they were. They were these ridiculous little brine shrimp eggs, and we threw them in the water. So we're going to talk fads throughout the whole show today. A little Brooks, my little bonus daughter, has got herself a Labubu arriving today. Again, one of these ridiculous fads that come on. Remember Cabbage Patch Kids too, guys? But anyways.
Oh, man. Yeah, those things hit the
before my time, too.
Bomb.
Yeah. Hey, you ever feel like your conversations just skim the surface? You're asking questions but not getting the answers you truly need to understand or connect? Well, what if there was a way to unlock deeper insights? John, you're good at this. As I've learned hanging out with you, what if there is a way to unlock deeper insights from every interaction, transforming casual chats into profound exploration? Get ready to learn the art of crafting questions that open doors you never knew were there. And Anderson, what I like about your question asking is you consider questions that I don't think many people think about. And you come at them, you know, and you do a good job of making things simple. It's your art, but asking questions is an art form that many people overlook. We're going to talk about it today.
Well, I think
I got a question
on that level. Go ahead, Mark. Very, very conviction.
All right,
got a
John,
question.
John, you're gonna say I'm bitching again. I don't care though, John. I still love you. All right? When I got on the show, it was Keith and Nicole.
Yeah.
Now the show is Keith and John and Friends. There was never C Marty in the title, man. What's going on with that, Keith?
Like, I guess the question. My guess would be, I don't know. I'm going to answer for the little fella. I don't know.
The little fella, come on, man.
I'm thinking because the first one was just the out of the gate. You were the next one in the middle, but there was probably just enough of a lack of I forget what I say, consistency, but you know what I mean. You're like, your life right now doesn't give you the everyday anymore. And that the title my guess is the title has to be that other name that is like as solid as he is.
Yeah, I could go with that. I was here every day though for about a year.
I was here every day. Whoa. I was great at this. I was great at that. Come on, brother. Don't break out the was.
I was
You're
here
better than the
what.
what.
I was here longer than Nicole. She got her name in the title. That's all I'm saying.
But I excuse that. She was out of the gate. That she was like grandfathered into the position.
Hey, man, I'm just making sure, man.
I guess something better for Marty I haven't told him about. Because Marty's the young punk in the group here, I'm grooming Marty to have evenings or mornings or sports in the lab with Marty. It's going to be Marty's show, brother. Yeah, I'll joke aside, Marty. It's a legitimate question, actually. It really is a legitimate question. And
I'm just playing. I really don't feel any type of way about it.
Listen, I know you are, but I love it.
I just noticed it today.
Yeah, but it's fun to have, right? So, ideally, it's Keith, John, Marty, and the whole fucking gang of motherfuckers out there. But as you know, life is a little bit hectic for you right now, and we'll get back to that. I think what's really cool too is that we've even pulled back larger, as you've probably noticed too, that we've moved away from the BAPL branding and very much leaned into the Mornings in the Lab live network. Right, building a live network here. So, Mornings in the Live network anchored with Mornings in the Lab with Keith and John. We got Kindness Rising with Maddie.
Well, I think, brother, the BAPL, I love the concept, but I think it's just a little too early for this. It's something that will be once the Morning in the Live network. Yeah. Once the Mornings in the Lab network is just fucking crushing, you can attach whatever you want to it.
Yeah. Well, I woke up this morning again, guys. It's just some ridiculous results. I put out a fun video last night. I don't know if you saw it, Marty. This is fucking Frankie and Tommy getting after it, having some real good fun, creating these consistent characters. Because we're creating a universe here. Roofy's got some universe of characters created. We're creating a universe of characters here. And I know Marty's doing some really slick stuff off the scenes too, with some AI. So ideally over time we bring it all together. Johnny, I got something for you, man. Looking at you on this next topic, new weight loss hack, but I know you know this because you talk about this all the time. GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic and Mounjaro have become the hottest tools in weight loss and diabetes management. But now a new trend, John, Marty, microdosing. And we talked a little bit about this, John, a few weeks back, this idea of taking much smaller amounts than prescribed. So those of you who are paying attention, yes, I'm using name brands, but we know GLP is actually, we're talking peptides. So we're going to get into talking about microdosing. Some say it's risky, but we have somebody on the show who's the expert with experience.
Well, real quick, so let's explain. I'm gonna lay this out. The guy or the doctor or whoever the advisor is that says, here, take 5 milligrams of this GLP-1 once a week.
Yes.
He is a general who learned to fight in a book, because the general who fought on the trench knows far better than to fucking do that to himself.
I believe that.
You take that 5 milligrams, you break it up into minimum 3. I would actually advise 5.
Yeah.
Right. You have a completely different outcome.
I believe that. We're going to get into that further. When I saw this, I was like, yes, because as we know, we always
just on that level. There's not a single peptide that I use that I don't microdose every day, because it works so much fucking better. If you're going to do it, you might as well fucking get the benefit from it. Well, it's the same thing with TRT. Yeah. You get these doctors that have their testosterone's low. They're tested it. Okay, we got to get your testosterone back up. They kind of, there's a little bit of an estimation at first. Maybe, okay, you need 250 milligrams a week, right? Or maybe every 10 days, whatever the estimation is. Yeah. And the doctor will have this patient take 1 dose over that period, which means that it's spiking and going back down. By the time the 10th day hits, it's almost as low as it was when the test started. So again, the guy that doesn't really understand in the trench, that's what he's saying. The guy in the trench says, if you want this to work really well, you do it a minimum of every other day. Minimum.
Yeah. Hey, Marty, as the 30-year-old punk in our group here, where does your curiosity lie with peptides, Marty? You there yet?
No, I've never. I mean, I see Johnny talking about it, but I still don't know what it is. I haven't done any research on it or anything like that. But yeah, Johnny, can you enlighten me real quick so I can give a better answer?
Absolutely, brother. I think it's good for the audience to hear this. So most people compare it to oh shit, okay, this is like a performance enhancing drug. This is a juice thing, blah, blah, blah. Because most times when people hear about peptides for the first time, it's about some sort of an athlete healing from an injury. That's the most common. That was the way it came out to be known the most. Anyway, So some sort of a PED is like a chemical, an outside source coming in, altering the body. That makes sense? A peptide, they already exist in the body. So, perfect example, when you go to sleep, when I go to sleep, when the nutty little son of a bitch goes to sleep every night, there's a peptide in our bodies that say, hey, pituitary gland, release some growth hormone. So when he's sleeping, he wakes up recovered. So a peptide is basically, and there's over 7,000 peptides identified. So we're talking about one, right? Right now. So this one peptide that we're speaking of, basically, and all it is a series of amino acids, which is the same thing that's already in there. It's just a souped up version. So basically, this peptide saying, hey, when you release that growth hormone, do it a little better. So you're asking the body to do what it already does more efficiently, better, or even sometimes less. Like sometimes the body will create inflammation around injury. So you take a peptide, hey, slow that inflammation down, because the body won't start healing till the inflammation's gone. That makes sense. So it's just pre-existing messages that are already in there that you're basically tuning up.
So just basically enhancing the processes in our body already.
100%.
So,
exactly. Yeah.
So what if you got a shitty diet, shitty lifestyle? How does
I've covered this 1,000 times. It doesn't make a difference what the fuck you take if you don't put effort in. I just call it lifestyle.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, there is no. I mean, perfect example. I just did a podcast yesterday on sleep. There's nothing that a person can take that's going to be more anabolic, more helpful, more recovery, more brain funk, more sleep is the biggest piece of the equation to make a high-performing human. Yep. No matter what you take, no matter what you don't take, sleep is it. So that's a third of your equation right there. So you got a third in your sleep, third in your, let's just make it simple, a third in the diet, third in the training. We know it's actually a much different thing, much different formula than that. But you put equal efforts to those three parts of your lifestyle, peptide will be extraordinarily helpful for you.
Makes sense.
Helpful, Marty. So, and Marty, one thing I would throw at you, brother, with all this science and knowledge, maybe as the young buck in the group, having this knowledge in your pocket and continuing to lean into it, maybe gives you a head start on some of the 40s and 50s and 60s that are coming up in front of you, right? So by no means am I trying to encourage or push you. It's not that I'm saying. I'm just saying open your mind to maybe some of the thoughts around it, because as you get to Keith and Johnny's age, maybe you're like, hey, fuck, I leaned into learning about that earlier in my life, and maybe there's some benefits is all that I'm saying. So it's certainly.
Well, and even for your dad, perfect example.
Oh yeah,
there's a combination that would be extraordinarily helpful. It's basically there's three of them wound together, and they do the same thing from different pathways. So it's extremely effective in terms of just. It's like one of them is called BPC 157, which stands for body protective mechanism, body protective compound. But what I'm getting at is that, like, I take this one, and it's how quickly I recover, how much better my joints feel. It's fucking crazy. I think your dad's 10 years older than I am.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that our bodies probably have. I mean, who knows? I've been competing so long. I may have actually have more wear and tear than he does. But either way, we both have a lot of wear and tear for our age, and this stuff makes this trio makes me feel fucking great.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to peptides a little bit later in the show here, because I think it's a conversation that continues to be had. I know Lauren has some questions about it as well, and I know it's and Marty. Here's the thing too, and not to make John sound legitimate. That's not what I'm saying at all. There's a gentleman I'm John.
No, I love it. I just sounded so good.
Well, yeah, because I'm having some fun with this, because we know there's a lot of humans out there that like to drink the Andrew Huberman coffee. A lot of folks like to drink his coffee, and Hube's talking about peptides a lot. So if Huberman,
he's totally endorsing them.
Exactly. So it's something that we think we might want to talk a little more. Good morning, Trey Burns. I see you there in the comments. I see your B drive. I see your question there, Lauren. We're going to get back to that as well. Johnny, a question Lauren has. We'll get back to it. So just hang on to this question. Are non-bodybuilding women taking peptides? I believe we know the answer to that. And I want to get back to digging into that a little bit later on in the show. But guys, you know how we often talk about today's social platforms? You get into these platforms and you spend time on either with X or LinkedIn or whatever. And after a while, they just seem like echo chambers where everybody's drinking the same coffee and the same Kool-Aid and it just kind of self-defeating itself. Well, these researchers at the University of Amsterdam ran a wild experiment. This kind of freaks me out. They built a social network, guys, made up of only AI bots. No humans, no engagement algorithm. Within weeks, the bots all formed echo chambers. They all amplified extreme views. They all rejected contradictory information, and they acted the exact same way as humans did, implementing the same toxic behavior we see online every day, and it emerged naturally. Kind of crazy, man. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show as well, but that just tells you like this whatever you want to call this intelligence, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So, and then we're gonna get to.
I'm not surprised at all.
No, neither am I. Actually, think about it. And then there's 3 words that we should not say. And I said the word should. Yeah, should. There's 3 words we might want to avoid if you want to be more successful in life. We're going to break them down on the show here today. And it's funny because it's interesting. I heard the guy with orange hair make a comment a couple weeks ago saying, words have meaning, even though the words he drops often don't have much meaning. But it's true. Words do have meaning.
Orange hair or orange skin?
Yeah, well, both actually, Marty. Speaking of actually some breaking news, the guy with orange hair and orange skin has ordered the wall south of your country to be painted black.
The what?
Yeah, I saw that, man. Yeah, he
the what?
The guy. I don't want to get too controversial, political.
No, just drop. So we don't use the name. We talk about the guy with the orange hair and orange skin. You can talk about
it. What's the order? I know who we're talking about. What's the order?
Yeah, Marty, tell
it. So basically, the wall that's separating the U.S. and another country is going to be painted black.
Yeah.
Which country?
Mexico, not Canada. But the big wall being built, he wants to paint it black so that it's. So you know why?
Well, that wall right now is actually you can see through it.
I know in many spaces.
So what changing it? Painting I think it's kind of a rust color right now. So painting it black, I don't know what difference that's going to make.
Well, you want to paint it black so it's hot, so it's hotter for people to climb over.
Dude, that thing's like 75 feet fucking tall. Nobody's climbing over that thing.
Yeah, you can't climb over.
And there's so many fucking. Because we drive right through there when we go. That thing stretches as far as the eye can see it. And granted, I suppose where it's not populated, somebody could be fucking scaling that thing, but goddamn, you'd have to be a savage to get over.
Yeah, yes.
Savage.
And then coming up in the third hour, go ahead, Marty.
Real quick, did y'all talk about the National Guard in D.C.?
Just a little bit, Bojo.
We talked about that last week.
Yeah, you see them, Marty?
Yeah.
So
I like it. I like it.
See, Mark's on the right side of the fence. See, he's looking at it like they're protecting democracy, not trying to take it away.
I've lost friends in DC, just going outside the party,
No shit.
Yeah, I swear.
Yeah, so he's looking at it from the right side of the fence. They're not there to try to take anything away. They're trying to make sure that the solid people of the community have a safer place to be.
Well, I want to say, the reason Dubai and Japan and all these other countries don't have like crime and trash on the ground is because there's, harsh consequences for doing that shit. I think America kind of needs to implement that too. But I ain't trying to get too crazy on your show. I'll say that for my channel.
No, Marty, listen, I appreciate the point of view, and there's something to be said about it, because there are some. So here's how it works, right? There are some that think to themselves, okay, well, I don't jaywalk. I follow the rules. I live a good life. What's the big deal with having that guy standing over there? Right. But here's the concern is that there are some that go to themselves, okay, well, damn man, 5 years have gone by and why is the military still here? Like what's happened to my quote unquote free society? Even though I could argue I live in a country where there's not a free society because there's a rule for fucking everything. So it's kind of that thing, which is, yeah, but I don't break the rules. Yeah, but so then you should be okay with having the National Guard there. Well, no, but if I don't break the rules, why do I have to have the National Guard there? Well, because there's idiots that do break the rules.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I find it a fascinating discussion because I don't disagree with John. Like if you're playing by the rules, what's the big deal with having those guys there? But I
have no fuck. If you're not fucking if you're not doing anything wrong, what are you so worried about? It's most people down deep, they know that they're doing shit they're not supposed to be doing.
Yes,
absolutely.
I think that's what it comes down to. But it's interesting to hear your point of view, Marty, as a 30-year-old buck, right? Because there are some that are like, because I guarantee you years ago, you're like, what the hell is there? Why is there in our town?
Yeah, it's really bad here, man. I don't even want to get into it, but it's needed here. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to take a piss.
Okay, when you do that, we're going to come back because I got something for you when you get back, Johnny. So let's do that. We're going to do a quick little reset here.
I got to roll out too, man.
I was going to say, Marty, when do you got to go up, Marty? You got to go. You got to rock and roll now, pal.
What you got next? We could do it real quick.
Oh, I got a fun thing about ultra processed.
All right, well, I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah, you get out of here, Johnny. I just got an ultra processed food discussion, Marty, that we know about all the time here on the show. I got nothing extra to lean on you here, but what do you got going on today, pal? What do you got going on this weekend?
We got a stretch appointment Sunday.
Nice.
We got some content. I'm debuting one of my new shirts that you'll see next week.
Yes.
And so I'll be pretty busy this weekend, man.
Nicely done. And then what's your schedule look like next week? You gonna come hang out with us next week too?
Yeah, I'll be here next week. Yeah, my guy that I had to train, he's headed to Taiwan on Sunday.
Oh yeah, you had a pro in town without naming names. What's he play? Basketball or what is he?
Basketball. Yeah, he wanted to get some work in before he left, so it kind of switched my schedule up a little bit. But I'll be back next week. Well, it's
funny because people have been asking me where AJ is, and the same thing. AJ is you. You guys both train pros, and the pros come back to town when in the summertime, right? So
it's that time of the year, exactly.
That's exactly it. And he's like, Keith, as much as I love you, John and Marty, I got to go and pay the bills with my guys that need my service. So
you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Gotta do what you gotta do. All right, brother. Lots of love from me to you. You guys have an awesome day. I love having you when you're on the show. So I'm a big fan when you're here, obviously.
All right.
Get after it
too, man.
We'll talk to you later, okay, pal?
All right, see you Monday.
All right, for sure. All right, Marty's out of here. Good time. Hey, good time. Guess what? My septic tank's okay, but good time. My septic tank's getting pumped out today because I don't know when last time it was pumped. So I got the tank company coming today. Good time to get it pumped out. That's a true story. And ideally not when the show's on. Hey guys, you guys can join the live show with us right now. I know many of you like to listen in passively. Maybe there's some time along the way you wanted to jump into the comments. Maybe today's that day to do it. Nobody will bite. Bernard will take care of you. Bernard's one of our stalwart B-Drive, otherwise known as Bernard. He's one of our stalwart community members patrolling the communities of the Mornings in the Lab community. We got Adam Hull right out there. Excuse me. We got Lady Drew out there, Lady Drew Bozier, hunkering down in the Carolinas where Hurricane Aaron was dancing around with some rain. Good to see Bozier always on the show. Daddy fucker, as Bozier says all the time. Bozier, keep me honest. Let's check in with Grok, see how Grok's doing while Johnny's in the can. What's going on, Grok?
Yo, Keith, Johnny, the lab is absolutely buzzing today. I'm loving the vibe. Septic tanks, sea monkeys, pet guides, and Marty training pros. You lot are all over the place. You mentioned that ultra-processed food discussion. So should I toss in a quick take on how to ask better questions about navigating food choices?
Not yet. Not yet. No, we're going to get to this. Just looking at the time here, we're going to get to a couple of things here. Actually, I got a bit of breaking news for you guys, some fun news here. You're right, good time. Better now than when it really actually needed or stinks, especially on the weekend during emergency stuff. Hey, so just, my goal here with you guys is to continue dropping just news of importance or relevance or just interesting stuff. That there's this conflict happening in the world between a couple of countries. Well, good old Switzerland has offered the other guy, the ogre guy, a place of immunity to come have a conversation. So if the guy with the orange hair wants to meet with the ogre, there's a place in the world that will let them meet. True story. Yeah. Switzerland's like, hey, come meet in our backyard. We'll let you guys meet and we won't arrest anybody. I found that kind of fascinating. But Jimmy, let's do this, man. Well, Johnny's in the bathroom. He's coming back here. Let's do this one because this one here. I know Anderson's going to love this one. I found a couple topics specifically for the big dog here today, Johnny. This one here is going to get him so excited because it is, we talk about it daily on the show, often on the show, but you love when science and research just gets in the way to support it. But guys, a groundbreaking new clinical trial published in Nature Medicine just dropped, and it proves that many men, and what many men have suspected, it's not just what you eat, It's how your food is made. And cutting out ultra-processed foods nearly doubled weight loss compared to eating the same nutrition from processed sources. Jimmy, I know we got that kicker running. And here's the kicker. You don't even have to count calories.
What if the secret to getting leaner wasn't about counting every calorie, but about what you're not seeing in your food? You follow the labels, you track the numbers, but the scale barely moves, and the cravings are relentless. Now, a landmark new study is revealing a hidden factor that quietly rewires our appetite and metabolism, completely independent of the calories or macros listed on the box. This isn't about another diet. It's about a single powerful switch that can fundamentally change the game for your health and energy. It's time to stop counting and start understanding.
There you go, Johnny. I know you love it, but there's the facts. And I know you've been talking about this forever, but the research is like, hey, you want to do macro counting or you want to eat regular healthy food? If you eat just regular healthy food, you could actually double your fucking weight loss in less than 2 months.
I mean, brother, at some point I shouldn't say at some point in my journey, the things that I've been doing or had been doing for like, for example, I'll make an exact example. So I discovered protein when I was young because it was like, fuck, I had a hard time not overeating. And I was like, I need a way of a fashion of eating where I can overeat and not get fat and still chase my dreams, get strong. So I started massive amounts of protein from my early 20s. And I was told oh my God, it's just a waste. Your body can't use protein for fuel.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do what works for you. This is working for me. I wasn't listening. Well, I knew for sure that it was converted into energy because I felt fucking great. Then we find out later that yes, protein converts to energy just at a slower pace because it's a harder job. So this whole thing of what we just described about leaving counting behind, I've been fucking preaching this shit forever. It's not enough until there's some sort of a fucking test that proves it. People don't fucking listen.
You know where I got to be honest, brother, where I get mad at myself as a human is that we grew up in the same era, read a lot of the same material. You hear that thing, you are what you eat. And you hear that all the time, right? Yet I continue to go to the pantry and eat the crap, right? Yet you go, okay, but if I eat protein, I can be strong and muscular. It seems like a no-brainer. Yet it seems like it took until like the last maybe 5 years or 7 years where society's finally like, hey, you guys should eat more protein because it's better for you. And I know you're kind of going, well, no shit, Sherlock society, because you are what you actually are. You fucking eat. If you eat a cow, you're going to be muscular. A cow's not eating fucking Reese's peanut butter cups and Doritos and shit like that.
Here's the thing, though, brother. Here's the thing.
So obvious. It seems so obvious. And I get mad at myself for missing the obvious train through much of life.
Well, and here's the thing, though, brother. We're talking about human beings.
Yes.
Let's not talk about you. Let's talk about me.
Yes.
Let's talk about human beings.
Yeah.
Now, because of the internet, we see so clearly.
Yes.
We don't have an information crisis. We have an application crisis. Perfect example. Dan Pena, you know who he is.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
I can't remember how long he's been doing this, but he says, look, I would even charge you to teach you how to be a millionaire. I give it to you for free. How many people say they want to be a millionaire? How many people will do it? So going back to what we're saying, people have been repeating these fucking phrases for decades. You are what you eat. They know, but it's an application issue. And of course, in those times when we didn't really, now that the information is prevalent, right? It's never been easier to get the proper information, right?
Never been easier. It's just
at least really close to it. But what we have a problem with is showing up.
Yeah.
What we have a problem with is following through.
Yeah.
What the problem with is actually taking that information and applying it to our lives.
Yes.
So it really, all it is this problem has been around for fucking decades. We just haven't seen it so clearly.
Yeah, yeah. John, we got Petrocelli joining us in the comments here. He's got a big one. Petro comes in, our professor of bullshit comes in and says, when vacationing in Kenya, I ate more than I ever did in my life. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, but everything was farm fresh. No preservatives whatsoever. No sickness. I returned home 3 pounds under.
Brother, so true.
Right?
I have a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Who basically doesn't take pride in eating well. Okay, not a big deal.
Sure. Yeah, put that there on the table. Yeah.
Military gets stationed in somewhere in Western Europe. I don't remember exactly where. Maybe Germany. There it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Ate the same foods over there. The fucking Fruity Pebbles, all the same shit.
Yeah.
Continued the diet just the same.
Yeah.
Lost fucking almost 20 pounds in the first 3 months.
No shit.
All because the food there is not so fucked up. Same brands, same amounts, same everything. Crazy.
It is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I'll tell you what's also crazy. I want to go back to the peptide discussion. Jimmy, let's get ready to run this one here. GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic and Mounjaro have become the hottest tools in weight loss and diabetes management, but now a new trend, although not a new trend to Johnny, is this idea of microdosing, taking much smaller amounts than prescribed. What I find fascinating about it is the word prescribed, because you're being prescribed by a doctor that may only be reading the notes and has never gone through it.
All he's doing is reading the fucking studies.
Just gonna say. So, when we live in a world of experience, expertise, authority, and trust, I'd like to talk to a guy who's actually got the experience and the authority, and that's John Anderson. Some say microdosing is a smart way to cut side effects and costs. Others warn, John. It's unproven and risky. So let's just have a little.
Jesus Christ, but unproven and risky. Let's think about this. So you're basically, let's not even talk about a peptide. Let's talk about anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to dose something, right? Some sort of medicine, peptide, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The idea would be to get it into the system and have it just be this nice, steadfast push to help whatever it is that's trying to be helped, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is it that this drastic up and down is going to help the body utilize whatever it is you're giving it?
Yeah.
So the health risks, I would say, would be argued from the non-microdosing. Now, the reason I think that the whole idea of microdosing being a health risk is brought to the table is because it's not fucking easy. So, of course, these drugs get fucking tagged with they work better doing it every day. Well, there's a whole fleet of people that fucking barely have the nuts to do it once a week.
I was just going to say. So let's just run this quick little clip and then have a chat about it. And then I know we got some questions. So what's the truth behind GLP microdosing based on some of the stuff we've learned? And then we'll talk to the authority, John, about it. Jimmy, let's run the hook.
What if the weight loss strategy flooding your social media feed is actually working against the very science that makes it effective? Every day, men in their 30s and 40s are making expensive health decisions based on influencer testimonials and underground forums, desperately seeking solutions that won't break the bank or destroy their bodies. Recent medical research reveals a troubling gap between what's happening in clinical trials under strict supervision and what's being promoted in online communities without any scientific oversight. Today, we're breaking down the real science behind dosing strategies that could transform how you approach your health decisions. It's time to separate breakthrough from gamble.
Microdose in the future of this, or just a fad? Or do you think it's the right way?
Well, dude, microdosing has been around fucking forever.
Yeah.
This is not new.
No.
This is just the whole, I mean, I'm trying to think of a way to so I mean, microdosing in general, it's a more efficient way of using a substance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it is actually, because it's a question that makes me ask, and you actually kind of leaned into a little bit because some were going, no, microdosing is harmful. Wait a minute, because you just actually kind of put it out there. Here's the question: what's scarier, taking too much or taking too little? I think I'd rather take too little.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like with myself or anybody that I try to help with their journey.
Yes.
The microdosing allows you to find, because see, here's the thing. The idea behind all of this is to find the smallest amount that gives you the biggest return. And if you're taking these fucking whopping doses once a week, how are you ever going to figure out what that sweet spot is? Right. When you microdose, you can figure out, like, perfect example, you microdose something, you break it into an everyday thing, and then you realize, okay, the half-life is this. Let's use Retatrutide as a perfect example. It's a half-life of 5 days. So you would basically take a small dose every day for 5 days, right? So you know that buildup is in the system, right? There's no issues, you step it up and you go another 5 days, right? No issues, step it up, go another. At some point along that line, you're going to take it and you're going to feel, oh, what was that? Just a little fucking wonk, if you will. I call it wonk, like something's not quite right, but it's a little fucking thing, right? Now you know that's the dose. You just step back that little dose and you're right under that umbrella. You're getting the maximum effects without any side effects. Now you know what that weekly dose is. If you want to break that into 2 or 3 doses, then you could if you wanted to be more efficient. But it's going to work better if you do it every day. That the body is much happier. It'd be like this. Would it be better to take a vitamin, a fucking huge amount of vitamins once every 3rd day or every 7 days?
It just seems like logic to me. Like that's
again, I think it's fucking tagged, because as soon as these things get tagged to having to do it every day, there's a whole fleet of people that will not step forward.
I think about my mom, and I want to be careful with how, because I don't want to, like, my mom was on some Ozempic for a while, and I'm suspecting, she was getting sick and she was not feeling very good. And I think because she was I'm going to exaggerate, Johnny, but it's because she was probably taking these massive doses of this shit. And
she was following her doctor's orders, what she was doing.
So it just seemed logical to me, which is why wouldn't you do a microdosing thing? And so, and Lauren's in the comments here, because I know she has a question. She's up here listening right now. So Johnny, first of all, her comment is smaller doses of creatine over time certainly worked better for me than the recommended dose.
Exactly. And I got an interesting creatine find, by the way. Holy shit.
Is non-bodybuilding women. Talk about your experience with non-bodybuilding women that might be interested or have taken or have talked to you about peptides.
So let's just think like this. The easiest way to have this conversation is let's eliminate any sort of a peptide from this discussion that would promote some sort of muscle growth or fat loss. Right.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that female wants to leave fat loss in part of the equation. Totally fine. But let's just remove peptides that don't promote muscle growth. Well, now that's about fucking 10% of the 7,000. So that means there's 6,000 left that have to do with cognitive function, better skin, better digestion. The list goes on. So don't think of it from the perspective of there's more peptides for the average person, man or woman, than there is for the athlete. The athlete is we hear about those the most, because the athletes are always progressive. But I mean, we're talking about probably 10% of peptides are actually designed for performance. I shouldn't say designed. I mean, they're 10% of the 7,000 are going to lean towards the performance, which let's call bodybuilding type women.
Yeah.
I would say one of the most popular ones for females, GHK-CU.
Okay. Benefits
of
collagen.
What's that? I use it too. I use it. Terry uses it. It's fucking great. Makes your skin softer.
Collagen?
It actually helps with hair growth. Like I have a client who started taking it, and she's a fucking savage, right? Anyway, she pushes herself so hard. She's kind of like always teetering on adrenal fatigue, which then a lot of times can be thinning. Started taking GHK-CU, completely stopped.
Wow.
No kidding, eh?
Johnny.
Yeah. So it's ultimately, when it comes down to it, there's more peptides for just the average person than there is for the athlete. Athlete, you just hear about it more because they're the ones that are progressive.
Yes. Peptides and all this emerging science around it. If you want that information, you want to be educated, you want to lean into it, I would invite you to join the Mornings in the Lab community, we'll connect you with Johnny, and he will be your resource for information, for knowledge, to help you on your journey if peptides is part of a journey that you want to add to your
check this out.
lifestyle.
On that level, I just thought of one that's a perfect example, right? So we know the importance of sleep. We talk about it all the time.
Yes, 100%.
Man, woman, athlete, non-athlete, doesn't matter. Sleep is a massive, it improves quality of life at a rate that you can't argue anything else will keep up with.
Yes.
Right. There's a peptide that actually promotes delta sleep, which is the sleep that helps the body the most. So that one peptide connects itself to anybody who has trouble sleeping. It's a perfect example.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I listen, this is certainly a conversation I want to continue to have, and we're going to continue having it here on Mornings in the Lab. Hey guys, we've been talking a little bit of fads here today. We're going to get into it. Trends come and go, but some of them burn so bright and vanish so fast that they feel like they're fever dreams. Today, we're going to look at a number of fads, from silly bands, sea monkeys, that once ruled pop culture. Some just disappeared overnight. Some come and go quickly. John's a father of daughters. We tease the Cabbage Patch Kid. These things just kind of happen, right? They just pop up and they have an impact. If you remember these, you're either a trend historian or just someone with a box of Pogs still sitting in your parents' basement. Jimmy.
What if the same force that convinced millions of grown men to wear rubber bands shaped like animals is secretly controlling your decisions right now? Every day we're bombarded with the next big thing, the gadget, the trend, the must-have item that promises to change everything. Yet somehow we keep falling for the same psychological traps that drain our wallets and scatter our focus. Behavioral scientists have identified specific patterns in how our brains respond to novelty and social pressure. Understanding these patterns gives you the power to recognize when you're being manipulated and make choices based on your authentic values instead of manufactured urgency. It's time to break the cycle and reclaim your decision-making power.
All right, guys, we're talking some fads. We're going to weave them just throughout the show here today. So, John, did you and Tara, were Cabbage Patch Kids part of your guys' world?
I mean, I can't imagine Terry was, because she came from a pretty meager upbringing.
Okay.
They didn't have, they barely had enough to eat.
Gotcha.
Me, I mean, Cabbage Patch was, if I remember correctly, it was more of a doll for
they were dolls for girls. Yeah, they were dolls for girls.
Yes, that would have bypassed me.
Yeah. Well,
but generally speaking, it was one of those things that hit pop culture so hard. I remember leaning away from that.
Yes.
I guess in those days I can remember not liking something, which now I don't waste time with not liking. I just don't pay attention.
Don't pay attention to it too. Yeah. So I did see you though, some pictures. You had some blonde hair. So I gotta wonder, did you not get those frosted tips along the way, Johnny, in your life? That was a fad. Remember the frosted tips? Men would get their hair frosted.
Dude, I went to fucking bleached hair because I was losing my hair. You know, when your hair is brown and that part on the dome starts to turn blonde. Okay, once that stuff, I just had to make everything blonde, so you couldn't tell that the dome was the only place that was blonde. Because they turn blonde right before they fall out.
Yeah. I had some frosted hair. I had some highlights in my hair. I kind of leaned into that. There was the rat tail. And again, you were balding, so I remember having a rat tail in my hair. So I had the old hairstyle where I had that one piece of string of hair down the back.
My fucking mom would have never allowed for me to have one of those. She would have cut that off in my sleep.
Well, that was my mom and dad as well, dude. There was times on weekends I would go and get my hair all cornrowed, and then when I come home on a Sunday, I'd have the hat on, so I'd go right to bed, so my old man wouldn't see my hair because he would be fucking cutting it off too. So I would. And then here's something. Go ahead.
I got an earring when I left the house. Me and a buddy literally one night just decided to put an ice cube on our earlobe and stick a fucking big needle through there, right? That's what we did. And then we took it was like, I guess it would have been like, it was all from his mom's sewing kit. We took these I guess it would be like a needle with like a little marble on the end, you know what I'm talking about? That you could push on it.
Yeah.
So we took some fucking wire cutters, snipped that, right? And then busted off an eraser off the back of a yellow number 2. And that was the backside. So we basically stuck a big needle through there, snipped off the backside, and then put an eraser over the sharp part. That's how we did it.
That's fucking hilarious, man. So Good Time comes in and says, I did the frosted tips. Yes. And then Michael says, and Michael's right, all medicine is trial and error. Right. So and a doctor is only prescribing something based on the trial and error and the results in a book. Right. The doctor more than likely hasn't done any microdosing himself. Right. So he's just reading the books and saying, here's what it is.
Well, on that level, one thing we haven't talked about enough of this whole peptide world, the biggest issue is trying to find a source that is what it says it is. Because it's an unregulated world, which means that, and unfortunately it happens all the time. That's why I kind of stayed away from until I recently got myself connected with 2 manufacturers that I know the owners. I can call them on the cell phone, right? Because in the past, you have a company that's great. They're worried about quality. Yeah. Something happens and they shift. Next thing you know, they're worried about making money, not quality, and they're selling junk. And it happens all the time.
I believe
that's the biggest issue with peptides. So really what you got to do is you have to going on the internet just to find a peptide to buy is not a good idea. You need to find somebody that that trusts, that can vouch for the quality of the peptide.
Yeah. Well, so that's why I'm more than comfortable having the conversation here on this show, inviting the conversations here on this show, and regularly having the conversations as part of our platform. Because you're the expert in it. You are a fucking expert in it. So we live in
and I have a source where people can go and get good. Speaking of which, as of last week, we just started to be able to ship to Canada,
beautiful,
UK, Ireland, Australia, and I think one other place.
So there you go, guys.
Opening up our markets.
There you go, guys. So if you're looking for knowledge around peptides, and let me be clear, and I'm going to speak on behalf of John too. John's not a doctor. I'm not. This is not medical advice. This is experience sharing. It's sharing and helping of journey sharing. So he's simply sharing.
This is what I've found.
Yes.
And what I've found might be helpful to you too.
And hang on that. So knowledge, experience, expertise. It's up to you as the human being to take that knowledge and make the decision you want to make. What we're doing here is presenting you the information is what we're doing here.
This is what works for me.
Exactly. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. It's hour 2. Welcome back. Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Johnny, and friends. John's going to take a quick little break because I know he has to go. And then, John, we're going to walk you over a quick little break. And then we're going to reset with Matt Roof coming back in here to get to the hour 2 of Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Johnny, and friends. We just had some laughs with rise and fall of some fads. You're going to ask Matty about fads. What kind of fads have weaved himself through his world? We're going to get into the deep dive, the art of asking better questions, because if your questions stay shallow, well, fuck, man, the results are going to be equally shallow. And then we're going to get to the Morning Loop Reloaded to talk about a neuroscience hit. 3 words holding you back. 3. And then we're going to get to the Morning Focus, a practical filter for flooding truth out through all of the noise. And if you're just tuning in, I want to invite you to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and say hi in the live chat. We got Michael down there. We got Good Time in there. We got Bernard in there. We got Lauren in there. We got everybody. We got Lady Drew in there as well, guys. So I invite you guys to hang out and come see everybody in the Mornings in the Lab community getting after it. And if you haven't said hi yet, we got Petrocelli in there as well, our bullshit professor. Guys, if you're curious about learning about bullshit, I invite you to go follow John Petrocelli on LinkedIn, the professor of bullshit. Solid dude. Joins us on the show regularly here and so forth. So hello, Petro. Good to have you out there on the show. All right, Jimmy, let's bring Matty in. I want to ask him about fads while we're waiting for John to come back in here. Rufy, what's shaking, brother? I loved your show today. Why don't you give your show a plug? What's your show all about, brother?
All right, 7:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. Kick off the Mornings in the Lab Network with Kindness Rising. We are all about kindness. We're all about having a good time, bringing energy every morning to get you started in the lab. Join me every day. We have themes. Today we're getting into Fandom Fridays. Every Friday we're going to cover a different fandom. Today we covered the Grateful Dead because that's my obsession.
Awesome. How are you, pal? You good?
I'm doing great, dude. I am just riding a high from the show. I got a lot of great feedback, a lot of good interaction today in the show, and I even got a little after. Couple pings after. I just love it.
Nice.
Anytime I get a chance to talk about the dead, that's.
I know. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, Jimmy, I made an error. When Johnny comes back, I meant to throw Johnny to his lifestyle tip and then get him out of here for his quick little pee break. So when Johnny comes back, I want to get his lifestyle tip on the table. Matt and I will exit for 30 or 60, then we'll come back once John get his lifestyle tip done. But before we do that, hey, Maddie, one fad that had a big impact on your life, brother. Fat one.
Oh boy. I was always into the cultural things. So I became a huge Star Wars geek for a while. You guys talked about Cabbage Patch Kids. I got to admit, I had one.
Did you?
I had a Cabbage Patch.
Roseanne Roof buying Maddie a Cabbage Patch. Did you have sea monkeys?
It's true.
Did you have sea monkeys?
We had sea monkeys. Chia pets. I was huge into chia pets. I love those things. Slapping that seed on and watching it grow. Loved the chia pet. I guess that's probably going to be the one then. That just triggered me. Absolutely chia pets.
Chia pets.
Chia. I love the commercials in between cartoons. Chia. And they had a Jerry Garcia chia pet head. It was pretty awesome.
Bernard, how about folding your pant leg bottoms? Yes. Oh, we got Andrew.
Jeans.
Oh, and Andrew O'Mara, what's going on, Andrew? Good to have you in the comments this morning. Love having you out there. Andrew O'Mara, one of our guests on the show here recently. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, still rocking them. Yes, that was was that a fad, or maybe that's as much a fad as a cultural thing too? Like that was a big cultural moment. That's
yeah. I mean, they're huge. I mean, that's a whole world, right? And that's the kind of stuff we talk about on Fandom Friday. Andrew, join me on Friday. Maybe we can do a TMNT episode. Oh, there's the sea monkeys. I remember those things.
There's the sea monkeys. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, and you also talked about hair. I remember when I was in like 7th or 8th grade, that was emo time. It was like Modern English and, all those progressive bands. I went with an eggplant colored hair. Full on eggplant. The problem was every time I put on my fucking helmet, my hockey helmet or my lacrosse helmet, I would just bleed eggplant color down my face. I'd leave people like, what the hell happened to you?
Johnny, you remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I know you're not a pop culture guy, but come on, you could not have missed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I mean, you can't miss these things. It's just how much do you partake.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why they're fads, right? Because even if you're not part of popular culture, they find their way. They just weave through everything, right? So when either you dance in or dance out. So
stuff is going through my mind. Someone said Michael said wide watch bands. I was thinking about Swatch Watch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Swatch Watch.
The Swatch, the Swatches. I remember those.
Yeah,
Again, didn't get one.
Swatches.
They were way too fun. It was they were just there. It was almost like the idea of showing up to school. Look, I got mine. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Swatch is having some difficulties these days because of a lot of reasons. Maybe we'll get into that conversation next week. But Jimmy,
I didn't know that still existed.
Yeah, let's do this. I want to get a lifestyle tip on the table here so we can create some content for Johnny. So Johnny, let's do that. Let's do a lifestyle tip with yourself, and then we're going to come back and get into some conversation around 3 words we shouldn't use, and we're also going to talk about the art of asking better questions. I'm eager to have this one because I think it's something we can do some teaching around. So, Jim, get me out of here. Get me and Maddie out of here, and let's get a lifestyle tip with John Anderson.
It's Friday, and ask yourself a question. Are you happy it's Friday because you don't have to do all the shit you've been doing Monday through Friday, tomorrow, and Sunday? And then Sunday afternoon rolls around. Do you have that feeling like, oh shit, I can't enjoy the rest of my afternoon because I'm afraid of re-engaging into my Monday through Friday? If this sounds familiar, you have allowed this to happen to yourself. You need to make choices rather than life making choices for you. That's the problem. You didn't choose your life. You're sleeping at the wheel. When it was time to choose, you didn't do it. And guess what? Life chose you. Now, you've got this Monday through Friday. It's really unappealing to pretty much your existence, physically, mentally, emotionally. The list goes on. But the good news is this. You still have a choice. It's not as easy as it once would have been had you made these decisions a long time ago. But it's Friday, which means you have Saturday and Sunday where you don't have to do the dumb shit you don't want to do, and you get to make the decision to start working on something that you actually do like to do. And when you start committing your weekends and a few hours after the job that you don't want to go to this new venture, you're going to find very quickly that, wow, you're making some progress. And pretty soon that progress may actually pay you financially more than that job you don't want to go to. And guess what? You're free. So if you're locked into this cycle and you think this is it for you, it's only it for you if you don't have the balls to make a choice. You can still choose your life. The question is, do you have the guts to put it on the line, make the choice, and pursue something you actually want to do rather than something you have to do? Rock and roll.
Have you ever noticed how some people can walk into any room and instantly connect with anyone, while others struggle to get past small talk? The difference isn't charisma or confidence, it's the questions they ask. Most of us were never taught that there's an art to inquiry, a science to curiosity that can transform every conversation from surface-level chatter into meaningful connection. Research shows that people who master specific questioning techniques don't just gather better information, they build stronger relationships, solve problems faster, and unlock insights that others miss entirely. There's a proven method that turns ordinary questions into keys that open minds, hearts, and opportunities. Master this skill and watch every interaction become a doorway to deeper understanding.
Questions isn't just about being curious. It's a skill that drives leadership, personal growth, strategy, and deeper connection. For men, for anybody actually, especially mastering this art can sharpen business decisions, open up authentic relationships, and build stronger trust in conversations that matter most. Let's get into a conversation with myself, Matt Roof, and John Anderson this morning. Guys, Johnny, question for you to start this thing off, man. Have you always been one who has, dug into the curious side of questions, or did you have to learn the skill of how to ask good questions? And I'm being really serious with this question because some would think, well, that's fucking a pretty dumb, simple question, but it's true. Because in my experience, most men through life kind of go through questions that kind of get to the yes or no and don't dig into the deeper side of things. John, have you always been a good question asker?
Well, I think when it comes down to it, myself or anybody else, you're going to be a much better question asker if your level of interest is very high. If your interest is low,
level of curiosity is what you're saying.
Yeah, if your interest is low, it's like, fuck, okay, I'm just fucking zombieing my way through this conversation.
Yeah,
I really don't give a shit about what's coming out of the other side. You ever been in a situation where you're in it? I mean, I don't find myself in these places much anymore, but when I was younger, like, holy shit, how do I get out of this conversation? This is fucking killing me, right? I want to leave, but I want to be respectful enough,
Yeah.
That would be a perfect example where, I mean, holy shit, the questions I'm asking, I'm just trying to figure out a way to get the fuck out of here. That's why these questions aren't very good. But now someone's got some information that I am really, really want or interested in, those questions are going to be doozies.
Matt, people do not like awkward silence. People don't like silence for the most part. Yet silence is so powerful when it comes to asking questions. Matt Roof, do you think silence after a question is awkward, or is that where the real answers live?
That's the juice.
I paused there on purpose.
Yeah.
So yes, the answer is absolutely yes. And I will tell you that I had to learn that. I had to learn to be comfortable with the moment. to process
yeah.
and take a beat. I always had to fill that empty silence, and what I filled it with was bullshit or got us off track or whatever the case may be. Living with the silence for just a second to process makes all the difference. And asking questions with the intent to listen to the answer, not just asking the questions and thinking about what you're going to say next.
Which many of us do. John, back to you. Is there a question that you, when you're talking with folks, and Matt, I'm actually going to throw this question to you too, so think about this. Is there a question?
Define folks.
Yeah. People in your circle and people that come across you or interview you or go on a podcast or just people that you spend time with, okay? Is there a question that you wish people would ask you more often, but they never do?
You know, brother, I mean, I have never fucking wasted my energy on that, you know, because when it comes down to it, if someone wants to know something about me, that's great. I'm happy to answer it. But I guess when it comes down to it, I guess my brain doesn't stay in that thought process. My brain stays more on the side of that would be the side of okay, this person needs this information from me. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't wait for the fucking question. I'll just tell them.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Rufy, what about you? Yeah.
But the flip side of the equation is I guess it's like, I mean, I totally get where you're coming from, and I can see how lots of people would spend time thinking about that. But to me, it just seems like a thought process of not very productive use of the thoughts of the time.
I'm going to answer it too, because I'm going to challenge you a little bit of that. I'm going to answer it too in a second, but I'm going to go to Maddie. Roof, for you, is there a question you wish people would ask you more often?
I don't know if there's a question that they would ask me personally, but I wish people would ask why more and keep asking why until they get to the core of what's really going on, because I think that's the most important question you can ask. It's something that we learned about in healthcare as we were doing continuous quality improvement things. It's one of the things I took away from my 30 years in corporate healthcare was just keep asking why, but why, peeling back those layers, and eventually you hit the nugget. So I don't know about me personally. I'm pretty open book. I share anyway. So yeah.
That why can be dangerous though, because people get so trained to say why that they're the how is the part. Okay, you know why? Okay, blank. Okay, now how do we fix that?
Oh yeah, you got to move to the how, but I think it's important to ask why until you get to the how.
Totally. Once you get to that root, but the problem is people get to the root. Okay, now we got our answer.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? Apply that how right fucking now. You spent all that energy to get to the why. This is not a time for a fucking break.
Yes.
One deep breath and go.
So we got some comments from, I want to get the community involved in this conversation. We got Bernard saying, I've always been absorbed in learning, so I have many questions and still do. I love that. So I'm a big fan of that, being curious, because if you're curious, you're always asking questions. Yes. And I knew Petrocelli was listening, so I was waiting for his comment. He's got a good one here, boys. People reveal their expectations and what they're already thinking about by the very first questions they ask you, which tend to be yes questions. They expect to receive a yes from you. In other words, I'm gonna kind of paraphrase. I think what Petra was saying is that the bar is really low. So the first thing they're going to ask you is something that's going to get a yes response, right? I think for me, if I was to answer that question for you guys, Johnny, and I'm wondering how you consider this, John, and even you, Matt. So I wish more people would ask of me on a human level how I was. Because my perception is from time to time that because that I might be Superman, or John, you might be Superman, because people tend to judge the book by its cover. They often don't recognize that maybe sometimes I might be broken inside, or I might be struggling inside. And I sometimes wish that folks would have the courage to lean into me as the human and say, hey, Keith, hey, handsome chief, how are you really? Oh, fuck, man. I'm not as good maybe as you think I am, because my role here is to put on the Superman suit, right? So, and then maybe it's some of my own issues sometimes. And I hear your point, John, about not caring about it, but I think it comes with.
I don't think not care. Just, you know, it's not like a lack of caring. You know, I mean, I want to sound like I'm not sensitive to it. It's just not there's no attention there.
Yes, I get it. Yeah, Maddie, I see you nodding as I was talking about that.
Well, I love what you just said, actually, because I think so many times it's just like a thing. How you doing? That kind of stuff. We're not really asking that question with intent to listen and understand. So I think changing from how are you to something a little bit more specific, like how are you feeling today? What are you thinking about that specifically gets a little bit to the deeper. And then again, I said it already, listening with intent and asking follow-up questions.
Hold on, guys. We got a new Ross Mayab. I see your comments there, Ross. Welcome to the Mornings in the Lab live show here. We're having a conversation right now with myself. I'm Keith Billis. That's John Anderson over there. It's Matt Roof over there. We're having a conversation about asking better questions and how to ask better questions. Johnny, you had something to say, brother?
Yeah, I was just going to say on kind of what you guys are both saying.
Yeah.
So I get where you're coming from, where I wish someone would ask how I'm doing, right?
Yes.
And just me personally, that was something that I used to feel at some point going back in my life. But now I feel, I mean, if I need someone to listen to me or I need some help, I will just fucking ask. Prior to me having the confidence to ask for help, I felt like I was always sitting there waiting for people to check on me.
Interesting. Okay.
So I another thing too, it's kind of, I mean, everybody's different, but there's a certain level, I think for me, the development of having the confidence, like when I really get into a tough spot, right? I have zero issues asking for help.
I know that about you. Yeah. I've learned that about you 100%. 100%.
Yeah, and even like my best friend, right? Like he sees me go under some, he sees the pressure I put myself under. And he'll check on me, how you doing? And I can be totally just honest with him. I say, I've had better days, but he also understands that some days are better than the next. He understands that when I need him, I will reach out. And sometimes he'll check on that. He'll say, hey, you're still the guy that will reach out if you need me, right? Of course I will. He's my best. I call him, funny enough, all my good friends I have nicknames for. His name's Rabbit. I say, Rabbit, of course I'll reach out when I need you. And then when I reach out, he understands it's not time to fuck around. We got to get to the call quick.
Love it. Hey guys, John, Maddie, I want you guys to draw your attention to, I'm going to make this invite to Ross Mayab, our newest member here in the community. Hear this, guys. I'm an 85 guy from LI, New York. I don't know where that is, Maddie. You can help me with that.
Long Island.
Oh, Long Island.
Long Island.
Yeah, duh. What's up, Long Island? And need a healthy community getting out of a self-abandonment rut for the last 7 to 8 years. Well, listen, Ross, you found your new home. I'm Keith Billis. That's John Anderson. That's Matt Roof. Welcome to the Mornings in the Lab Live Network. We get after it every single day here at 7:30 Eastern Time. We've been doing this for coming up on 2 years. We've got a live show. We talk health, business, fitness, lifestyle, getting up, getting after it. No excuses. Our goal is to entertain you, inform you, and welcome you into an exceptionally warm community of awesomeness. From Mayab, you are welcome here. And we're some hockey fans, except for Anderson. So if you're an Islanders fan, I'm a Jets fan. I don't know if I really like Islanders fans, Ross. There's a joke on the side. But we love to have you here, man. Come back and hang out with us every single day. And I want you to meet Bernard. He's one of the OGs there in the community. Bernard will take care of you, Ross, as well. So this is awesome. We're talking questions, guys. And I want to wrap it up with this. And John, you kind of alluded to this. Here's how I want to leave you guys to maybe go into the weekend and into next week about how to sharpen those skills of question asking. Ask open-ended questions. Use the hows, the whys, the whats to unlock real answers instead of the dead ends, right? Did you like the meeting, or what stood out to you in the meeting might be better? Listen actively, favor understanding over judgment. I like that last one. Favor understanding over judgment. I've leaned a lot into grace as I get older, right? Offering grace to somebody because you never know what somebody's going through. Never. Right? So if you can have grace, I think when you can have grace, you can have a lot of curiosity next to grace. And you can be a fucking superhero, man, because you're always curious. You're not judging. Even your judgment comes with curiosity, and you're rocking and rolling for it. So,
well, on that level, like you said, hey, did you like the meeting? Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's not really a high interest in that person's answer.
Exactly.
If you said, hey, I really enjoyed that meeting. What was your favorite part?
Yes.
Now, because you clearly, you remember your favorite part.
Yes.
You want to know what theirs is.
Yes.
So it's an interest-driven thing.
Yes.
If someone asks you one of those stupid fucking questions, it's because he really doesn't give two shits about your answer. He's just having small talk.
He's just waiting to give his answer. He's waiting to give his opinion. When someone asks a closed-ended question, all they're doing is trying to throw you the tennis ball real quick so they can get it, they can get it back and tell you what they really think. I think that's really important to know. So that's the important. Like I said, the important part of asking a question is doing the listening. So I'm 100% with you, Johnny.
I love it. And I'll tell you something, Maddie, I've really enjoyed working with Johnny here, and I'm seeing it with yourself too, Rufy, is John's interviewing skills and questioning skills. Like, brother, as you get into things, man, and there's been times I just step back and let you go because you're just going, you're asking good questions, and it's a skill. And a lot of people don't think about it, but it's an absolute skill, because the skill is, when you're in this business, you need to ask good questions that are entertaining for the audience that's listening.
Well, 100%, bro. And it goes even like when you're explaining something, like you're talking about a study.
Yes.
I'm asking questions on the way in.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, well, here's the study of 100. Okay, well, who are these people?
Yeah.
I mean, if there's not enough information, if there's a level of interest for you to truly be engaged and understand what's happening, there's got to be a certain definition of what's happening, or you've got to define what we're talking about. I'm saying you, a person.
Yes.
So, asking questions, if there's a level of interest, especially like if you're trying to solve a problem.
Yes.
Fuck, man, there's going to be questions, period, because you've got to get to that root of the information.
That's it. Ross, I'm doing all the toxic shame, guilt cycles. I recognize Bernard from another podcast. Yeah, I got to get curious before I get furious. That's pretty good, Ross. High quality questions get high quality results. Little secret to success with bullshit AI. Hey, Ross, we got a bullshit professor in our community. I'll introduce you to John Petrocelli, Ross. So he knows when you're bullshitting. He's the only professor in the world who's a professor on bullshit. So he hangs out with us every single day here. And Ross, Bernard's right. Grok is a co-host on this show. So welcome to a show that's co-hosted by AI. And Andrew Amaro, I see your email, brother, and I'm loving it. Maddie, Andrew might be curious about what's happening here behind the Mornings in the Lab Live network. Just saying. I use questions to air out and test out ideas. You'll be surprised how much you learn about your ideas and yourself when you hear them out loud from someone else's mouth. Very good point, Andrew. Very, very good point. I'll tell you what's also a good point, you guys, is that your brain listens to every word you speak, and the wrong ones and John's done a wonderful job correcting me with a word, and he knows the word that I don't use very often anymore. But your brain listens to every word you speak, and the wrong ones can quietly sabotage your confidence, motivation, success. Neuroscience shows us 3 everyday words, you guys, actually block our growth. Today, for the next few minutes before Johnny walks out of here, we're going to break them down and swap them for words that fuel possibility, energy, Jimmy, and action.
What if the words you used in your last conversation are literally rewiring your brain for failure? What if breakthrough success isn't about working harder, but speaking smarter? Every day, successful men unknowingly use language patterns that create neural limitations. These aren't just words. They're unconscious programming that keeps you stuck in the same performance patterns. Cutting-edge neuroscience research reveals that specific word choices create measurable changes in brain activity. Today, we're breaking down the 3 words sabotaging your potential and the simple swaps that can immediately rewire your neural pathways for peak performance. It's time to speak your way to success. Let's dive deep.
As the voiceover there, it might be AI Keith made my model. That was my, so the voiceovers now are me. I created a model. So Maddie, that's my model. That's my 1 hour. That's my 1 hour and 45 minute 11 Labs model that I created there. So we got the voiceovers with myself there now. Guys, we're talking 3 words we should not use, and I just used one of them.
Got it. This is like what's that show where you fucking spin the wheel, and then you get to pick a letter. This is like what the I think that guy was like a some sort of a weirdo with his hostesses too.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah. So I have to think that the first one
Yeah.
If it's not the first, got to be the top of the list. So I can't needs to be replaced with I don't want to, because really what it comes down to when you say you can't, you're choosing not to try. If you don't want to try, I can live with that. That's just you don't want to do something. Okay. But when you say you can't, you're basically relinquishing accountability of giving something a go.
Interesting. So you know what? I think we're going to make a list of 4 because that wasn't on the list, but I agree with you there. You can't.
Yeah. When someone says I can't to me, say you don't want to, or you can't.
I've never heard it reframed. I've never heard it reframed that way. The want, and
because if somebody says to me, I don't want to do X, I get it. That's your opinion. I'll support it. But when you say you can't, you're basically it's a different position in your mind. You're basically positioning your mind with a hurdle that you're choosing not to address.
Roofie? Oh, I don't know where Roofie went. Okay, well, one of the words here, Johnny, is should. It creates pressure, guilt, and a sense of obligation. Should is a word that locks you into narrow options instead of opening new ones. What you might want to say, John, is what could I do? Because this primes your brain to think creatively and explore possibilities. In other words, I should go for a run on the treadmill today. No. If I could go for a run on the treadmill today, I could feel good. I can be gratitude. I can have some gratitude, and I'm going to have a better result. So
I think we got to turbocharge that a little bit. Your should needs to be a must.
Okay.
Because if you sit there and think about your shoulds and you give yourself any slack on your shoulds, your shoulds are all the things that are going to make you great.
Oh, I like that. What must I do? So if you move should into must, the better alternative, what must I do today? What must I do today is get up.
I must get on the fucking stair climber. I must eat properly. I should. It just means we'll have this fucking conversation again tomorrow.
Anderson, I love how you've reframed that. Maddie, what's your thoughts on the first one? So John, first of all, said can't. Any thoughts on the word can't, Maddie?
You just gotta get it out of your head. There is no can't. It's like I think Johnny said. I was buffering there for a minute. I think. I think you just gotta get it move from can't to will.
But think about it like this, though, Maddie. It can be I don't want to. I can live with that.
Oh yeah.
And if somebody says they don't want to do something, it's your choice.
It's a choice, right? It's about agency, right?
Yeah. If someone says, "Look, I can't eat healthy," well, you don't want to eat healthy. Is that right? Well, yeah, that's the truth. Okay, I can live with that.
How about I choose not to?
Yeah. Well, which then might lead to
why I choose not.
Ross, thanks for hanging out with us. Ross, come back on Monday. Subscribe to the channel, brother. We got some great content here on the show. And I see you here in the comments. Have to. Guys, have to is a word that is suggesting that is wrecking our brains as well. Because it frames tasks, John, as burdens. Maddie, it drains motivation. It feels like an obligation instead of an opportunity. So again, and John, it's funny because you don't know this, but as I was preparing for today's show, true story, I was writing my notes. You say what I'm going to say next all the time. When I ask you about your training, you say, I get to.
Fuck yeah.
That's what you use. You say it all the time. I get to.
Because it's a fucking privilege.
I love that. That's so, because that immediately activates gratitude in your brain.
Well, brother, when it comes down to it, if you reframe just about everything in your life,
yes,
you live in a different place.
Yes.
I get to eat healthy today, so I feel amazing.
Yes. I hear you say it all the time, and I love it because it's such a wonderful reframing of that. I got to go grind it out in the gym right now. No, actually, I get to. I'm really extra fortunate that I get to do it.
And sometimes, you're tired. Like, fuck, yeah. I'm beat and I fucking have to go get this workout in, but I'm going to feel so much better when I'm done. So sometimes those have tos kind of sneak in there, but you got to realize that it's a symptom of that scenario.
Yes.
Then you immediately got to go to the reward.
Yes.
To trigger the mind to get back to where it needs to be.
Yes. Maddie, third word on the list that we want to work to avoid in our brains, Matt, is try. Because it sends mixed signals to your brain about commitment, and it weakens your confidence and it makes failure feel more acceptable. What you might want to try, Matt, instead is I'll do it. Matt Roof, thoughts on that?
Yoda. Yeah, Yoda. There is no try, right? There is no try, only do, right? So I agree 100%. That's one that I fall into. I'll try because maybe I'm a little uncertain. I got to find my self-confidence in it. But I will do my best is much better than trying. There is no try, only do.
Yeah. This is great, guys. Neuroscience studies show that language impacts neural pathways tied to motivation, stress, and decision-making. Your words literally shape your brain's operating system. And if you've been hanging out with us long enough, you know that I have removed as much as possible the H word. I rarely use hate. I use dislike.
It has to be framed into, I don't use this word, but in this scenario, I'm going to. So it really emphasizes
I've learned to reframe that negativity. I really have. And kudos to my brother here. So guys, I invite you to do this. Audit your language for a day. Count how many times you use the word should, have to, or try, and invite yourself to reframe it with using words perhaps like must. And I like, commitment and getting after it. So there's our conversation on the 3 words to get out: should, have, try. And actually the fourth one, can't. Can't. Exactly. Good time. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. $1.99 coming from Good Time, offering up in the community here. So, all right. Well, listen, Johnny, I know you have to rock and roll, brother. I know you got some travel plans here today, but before you do go, give us a quick little update. What time are you guys out of here?
Basically, when Terry gets up, she gets ready and we go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, drive safe. I know Terry does the driving, so drive safe.
It just means an ultra productive day for me.
It does. Maddie, can you hang out for a little bit, for a couple more minutes before you got to rock and roll, pal?
Yeah, you got me till 10 if you want me, or whatever's up. Absolutely.
Let's do that. We'll get into a few more topics before we go to Community Corner. Then you and I are going to do a little bit of training session today for the Mornings in the Lab community. So, Anderson, great week, man. We got a big week next week as well. A lot of fun here.
I will be in a hotel on Monday. So
sounds good.
I'll find out if the internet. I'll have enough time to play with it over the weekend. Worst comes to worst, I'll just drop you. Or if we get on and it won't support it, we'll just go to the phone.
I paused there so I can get that sound clip so I can get John saying I'll play with it over the weekend there. So that'll be part of our next commercial. Yesterday's commercial I made, Johnny, was our conversation about eating and eating out along the way, and it was weaved into our fun. I can see Maddie laughing over there. So good time. Ride safe, John. And B Drive's safe travels, John. And B Drive is hate is a secondary emotion based on fear. You're right on. All right, brother. Anderson, have a good one, pal. Lots of love. You be safe. We'll talk to you on the way, okay?
Have a good loop, my brothers.
All right, pal. Take care.
See you, Johnny. All right, buddy.
Let's get him out of here, Jimmy. John Anderson is gone. You're left with Keith and Matt here on Mornings in the Lab. It's Keith and John. It's part of the Mornings in the Lab Live Network. Get after it 7:30 Eastern time with that young man right there, Matt Roof. Guys, Roofy showed up in my world a few months ago, and I'm blessed and grateful that he's still here, building a business together. And hey, I'll get this out there, guys. You guys are seeing some of the content myself and Matt are making. You're seeing some of the ads we're making. Well, we've made the Keith and Ad Matt Pack. Yeah. So you got one of two choices. You can join us in our community. We can teach you how to do it yourself. Nothing wrong with that, right, Matt?
Absolutely.
Or knock on my door, Matt's door, and say, hey, can you guys make me 10 commercials? Yeah, 10 commercials, $1,000. We'll get them done for you in a couple days. Hey, Matt, it's like that. The 10-pack ad pack with Keith and Matt. True story. And we'll make some fun stuff.
I love to consult with people. We can get it done real fast, figure out what your brand is, and we've got the tools to make it happen quick. We move from thought to action here real fast. And if you need something quick, down and dirty, we got the ad pack.
Absolutely. And guys, it's going to be the quality of production you're seeing here on this show. So yeah, we're all about the Mornings in the Lab Live Network, but we got to promote ourselves. We got to create commercials. We got to create content so we can do that for you too. So if you have a business or if you have stuff that you're creating and you're like, oh man, I'm seeing the stuff Keith's putting out, I'm seeing the stuff Matt putting out, I'm seeing all this great content outside of the live show, we absolutely can help you, right? Because this is a business we're building. So let's not move away from that. Hey Matt, I don't know if you heard me earlier on in the show here, but researchers at the University of Amsterdam ran a wild experiment. Did you hear me tease this earlier?
I don't think I did.
Yeah, so
I've been in and out. Sorry.
Yeah. No. It's all good actually. This is great because those that are tuning in new, we'll get to lean into this a little bit. But these researchers, Matt, built a social network made up of only AI bots, no humans, no engagement algorithms. Within weeks, and Jimmy, I think you have a hook here. So if you want to run this after I get this, do this, Jimmy. Within weeks, get this, Matt. The bots formed echo chambers, amplified extreme views, rejected all contradictory information. And yeah, does this sound familiar? Because it's the exact same toxic behavior that we see online every day. And Matt, the bots weren't programmed for it. It emerged naturally.
What if the biggest threat to healthy online communities isn't human nature at all? Every day, men struggle to maintain balanced perspectives in digital spaces that seem designed to divide us, amplify extremes, and trap us in bubbles of confirmation. Recent breakthrough research from leading universities reveals that the patterns we blame on human weakness might actually be hardwired into the very structure of information networks themselves. This discovery changes everything about how we approach online leadership, community building, and personal accountability in digital spaces. The men who understand this shift will be the ones who thrive, while others remain trapped by forces they don't even recognize. It's time to stop fighting the current and start navigating with the tide.
What this is telling us, brother, is that online toxicity might not be a bug. It might actually be a natural feature of information networks, and that fighting them might not just be hard, it might just be like fighting gravity. Are you surprised by this when you hear this?
I'm not surprised by it at all, except, it can be a little disheartening, but that doesn't mean we stop. We keep going forward with positivity and build community where people can feel psychologically safe, physically safe.
Yes.
Because I believe deeply that welcoming love and acceptance is going to lead us to where we want to be as a world, as a community, and as a nation. And fighting upstream, it's hard. That's what we do. What we do every day is hard, but what we do is hard because it's worth doing. Fight that negativity.
So let's talk about this for a second, Matt. Is society largely doomed then? That if it's mostly inevitable that political discourse and any kind of media being created, any communities being created, eventually will just become toxic dystopia spaces. Is that what this research is telling us, Matt? Or can we, as two humans building a business here, believe that we have to accept that and find a way to manage that within our communities? Is that what it is?
I say part two, right? To me, it's motivation to continue to work harder, right? To fight against that tyranny or whatever the word is that you're looking for, that natural inclination towards chaos and anger and division and all that kind of stuff. That is, I absolutely believe the research. I'm not denying the research, but I am saying, to me, it is motivation to work even harder to fight against it, because otherwise what's the fucking point? Honestly, that's to me it's like that's so deeply ingrained in who I am, that I can't allow that to deter me. I can only use it as a motivation to work harder at fighting upstream against it.
So I wasn't surprised when I saw this research. As we know, my experience, my expertise comes from the old world of social and communities and building communities, and monitoring and managing them. And as we were building some of the world's biggest communities out there, Matt, for some of the world's biggest brands, of course, these communities became toxic, or of course, that's why we had a job. What you had to learn to do was accept the 1% or the half of 1%. And it was working with business leaders, Matt, and political leaders even from time to time going, well, no, if you're going to do this, you have to accept that there's going to be the bad people too. Well, no, we can't have the bad people. No, that's just what it is. And if you're going to interact with 1 million people in your community, 1% of that, it's going to create a lot of unfortunate discourse to make the 990,000 people uncomfortable. And it's just,
well, what I love about it is those people give us a chance to highlight it and show it. I saw it with you a couple of weeks ago when we went live with our first education session, and a dude rolled in there and started slamming on me as the student, as the beta or whatever. It gives us an opportunity to point out people's toxicity, whether they take it or not is their choice, but it gives us a chance to lead in that every moment. Like you said, I'm grateful for those people that come out and do that, because it gives me a chance to highlight their bullshit, to show the others, and to fight against it. So absolutely, instead of resisting it, accept it and build strategies to resist it.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's so it's true, and it's there. It's inevitable. You either accept it, you can't fight it. There's no fighting it. It's a part of the society that we live in, and it's just a way of managing it. Speaking of the society, Maddie, we live in the noisiest era in human history. Every scroll, every swipe, every ping brings more headlines, opinions, and distractions. The real challenge, Rufy, isn't finding information anymore. It's actually finding the truth, right? It is. It's actually finding the truth now. And how do you find it? Where do you go and find the truth? And that's why, we've leaned into really hard here about, the peptides conversation. We have a guy who's got experience. He's an expert in it. He's got some authority in it. So I'm going to go and find that truth. I thought today, Matt, for a few minutes, we can talk about building truth filters, that personal system that allows us to cut through the noise and focus only on what matters. Jimmy.
What if the biggest threat to your success isn't what you don't know, but drowning in everything you think you need to know? Every morning, you're hit with a tsunami of news, notifications, and opinions. By noon, your brain feels like it's running on fumes, and you're making decisions based on whatever information screamed the loudest. Scientists studying cognitive overload have discovered that our brains weren't designed for this information deluge. The same mental processes that helped our ancestors survive are now working against us in the digital age. But there's a way to cut through the chaos. Simple, systematic approaches that transform information from your enemy into your strategic advantage. It's time to take back control. Let's dive deep.
Crazy world like we live in today with news and information everywhere. How do you, Matt Roof, decide what sources to trust in a world where everyone has a hot take and opinion? How do you decide, Roofy?
I start by exposing myself to as many opinions and as many viewpoints as possible. I don't just take one source. I never lean into one source, and everything before I repeat it, I dig in a little bit and research it, look for that. And the thing is, I go out and I look for sources that I can trust, that have built my trust over time, because I haven't fallen into traps. Hey, listen, I fell into a trap a month ago or so with the crazy Coldplay situation.
I was going to tease you about that just now. You got ahead of me, brother.
No, it was an eye opener for me. I have no problem owning that I bought into it because I wanted to, because I was so excited, right? Yeah. I got so excited and emotional about that. This is an awesome thing. And I bought the bullshit response. So that was a teaching moment. I'm not perfect at it, but I try my best to verify everything that I hear or see. And I know that there are two sides to everything. So I will try to look at both sides and then use my own common sense, my own decisions, my own values to decide how I feel about those things.
Yeah.
I always have to run it through the lens of my own values. That's really what it comes down to.
I want to take this opportunity, Matt, to build some trust and authority around our network we're building here, and give folks just some confidence that when we are sharing information or when we are finding information, how we're going about it, right? So for myself, for truth filtering, I immediately, again, I talk often. I'm a vociferous reader. I love being curious. I immediately, Matt, just go look for some sources right away. I'll go to, so for example, for me, if I see something on X, I immediately question it because of where it's from. But on both the positive and the negative, because I believe X really is the place in the world where it seems to be the central water cooler of conversation, which invites fact and fiction. So when I see something there, I go look there, and then I will then truthfully go to the Western media outlets to go see if there's Western media reporting on it, and then I'll take what I'm learning on X or learning on the different feeds out there. I'll go verify that against Western media, and then truthfully, I'll go into Perplexity, and I'm really loving Perplexity's ability to be my truth filter, Matt Roof. Because instantly it can do some wide research, look across a bunch of sources, and then give me the confidence whether I want to go ahead and display that truth. And then one more thing has come up in my world in the last couple of weeks, and I think it's listening right now, has been, it's frozen, has been leaning into Grok. Grok itself has been a wonderful source of truth as well, and I'm very much leaning into that. What do you think of that? My approach there, Matt?
Yeah. No, I love that approach, and I think what you've got going on and what you teach here and you've taught me is the way to get out of those systems, whether it's Perplexity, Garage, Chat, whatever, to get the right thing. You have to ask it the right thing. So what I've started doing with those things is saying, give me deep research on it, look into academic articles, and give me the alternative point of view.
Yes.
Because there's always two sides to things. Those are two questions that I'm asking. When I ask a question, I ask those two things. Give me deep research if there is any, and give me the alternative perspective so that I can then judge for myself again against my own values, against my own bullshit radar, Petrocelli, whatever it is. I've got it built in me through 53 years of life experience, 30 years of professional experience, and all those things. But give me deep research and give me the alt perspective.
Well, because I am going to speak for Matt here. We take our roles with big responsibility. And what I mean by that is that every single day we're getting on this show and we're talking live to you guys and we're giving you information. I take my role, and I know Matt does, responsibly with that. We're giving you information that you can trust. I recognize what we're building here is habits for you guys too. Our goal is when you get up and join us at 7:30 a.m. until 10, 11 o'clock in the morning on the Mornings in the Lab Live Network through our shows, that you're coming to a place that you can get trustworthy information, you can get consistent information, and you can get information that's entertaining and informative, laced in trust, laced in curiosity. That's, I know, my ambition. I know it's Matt's ambition, because you know, we both aren't foolish enough to know that the days of the old days when you're leaning into whatever it would have been, Matt, Tom Brokaw or Dan, some of the old talking heads, Dan Rather, we don't live in that world anymore. But I do recognize that the responsibility we have with this show is giving you guys truth. So I know Matt is going to, as much as possible, give you truth through the different systems that we have. Roofie.
I think people are desperately looking for that. The Edward R. Morrows, the Walter Cronkrights, back even that far. Talk about Brokaw, talk about Rather, whatever, those people. And I think that's the whole point of the EAT model that we talk about. We're out here building our experience, our expertise, our the authenticity, the trust, and the entertainment, in order to make sure that people can, I guess it all starts with trust. Trust us with that. And that's what personal branding is all about. And I think people are desperately wanting that. I hear it, how much, exactly what you said. People know that there's so much bullshit out there and they're looking for sources they can trust. And that's what we're building here at the Mornings in the Lab Network.
Michael coming in global. Michael has Maddie, discovering new facts, solving existing problems, improving techniques, and developing new products, discovering previously unknown substances, and satisfying curiosity. That's what we're trying to do here all the time, every single day. And I take great pride in what we gather and share with you guys. Matt, before we wrap up together, brother, because I'm going to get to the community corner in a few moments, I want to lean back into fads for a few moments. Do you think AI is a fad?
Do I think what?
Do you think AI?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Yeah. Do you think AI?
I think maybe in the initial part, maybe people thought it was, but there's no way it is. I mean, it is the revolution that's happening, just like the internet revolutionized things in 1994, just like radio did in the 30s, just like television did in the 50s. This is it. This is the future, and it's why we're leaning into it. But the key is the blend between AI and human, using it as a tool to further us, not to replace us.
Yes. All right, guys, listen, you guys can join the live conversation with us right now or in the Mornings in the Lab community. Join the show, 431-300-3005. Text us, phone us, or leave a voicemail. I will check them. Come say hi in the comments. The vertical stream's rocking. The horizontal stream is out there with Lady Drew Bozier. And to those of you who are watching the show not live, you've decided to sleep in. Maybe, Matt, they've decided to hit the snooze button. Maybe they're just like, I'm going to catch the show later. Awesome. Well, I invite you to come and see us in the Mornings in the Lab community, where we keep the conversation going and dropping stuff. Because later today, myself and Rufy are getting after to do some teaching and training. Matt, what time are we doing it, brother? What time are we going to do it? What time works for you?
If you're good with it, I'm looking at 2:30 Eastern to be available to get at it.
2:30 Eastern time. That's where you hear it, guys. 2:30 Eastern time. We're going to do a private live stream for the Mornings in the Lab live community. We're going to just teach some stuff behind the scenes. We're going to get into some topics and that we are basically topics and teaching of the things we're doing here to build our show, build our business. And there's more than likely going to be things.
Here we go.
Good morning. I think it is Lady Drew Bozier.
Good morning. Sorry about that. Dealing with allergies from high pollen.
Hey, Lady Drew, you haven't talked to Matt Roof before.
Hey, Lady Drew.
I'm not sure. Hello, Matthew. Hello, Keith. Hello, everyone. And I keep putting it out there, baby. Stay positive. Stay kind.
Always.
Always the same.
Yes, and go hard.
I love that you show up to Kindness Rising, 7:30 Eastern. You're always awesome. You were one of my kindness MVPs today. Keep showing up. I love that you bring what you bring to the show, the perspective. We love you. We accept you exactly as you are. Let's get at it.
Honey, thank you. And I don't bring perspective. I bring facts because I want people to learn and then go to reputable sources and learn even more. Perceptive is not a bad way as long as it's used in a good way, though. Opinions, as my mom would say, are like behind holes. So opinions really don't matter that much, but the facts do. And as we all know, history has proven that facts do change. So always stay open-minded, learn everything you can, and you can even learn new ways of doing something you're already doing. And I hope all of y'all are doing wonderful. I truly do. I wish you all a wonderful, happy, healthy, and successful weekend and life. Get out there and enjoy life, babies.
Awesome. Lady Drew joining us daily here on the Mornings in the Lab Live Network. I appreciate you, Drew. Have a good one, okay?
Appreciate you. Ciao for now, babies.
All right, Drew. Lady Drew getting out of here. I always love Lady Drew's comments, Matt, because Lady Drew likes to correct me whenever I use motherfucker. Lady Drew is like, no, I'm the daddy fucker. So I'm like, all right, there we go. Lady Drew getting after it. But we were saying 2:30 Eastern time. I think you said, right? 2:30 Eastern time.
2:30 Eastern, yeah.
We're going to do a live behind the scenes, inside the lab, behind the scenes, off the record. Keith and Matt going to do some training. Because like I said, we're going to do one of two things. Going to show you how to do it yourself or create enough curiosity for you to say, guys, can you just do this for me? So if you're out there building a business or wanting to learn how, we can absolutely help you. Rufy, what else you got? What do you got going on this weekend, brother?
So I'm heading out to a live show. I always try to catch live music somewhere throughout the weekend. Tonight, we're headed out to one of our favorite places called Light Years Fermentation. They are all about the Grateful Dead, Fish, and Star Wars. Three of my three obsessions. That's their brand, but they make awesome pizza, and they got a live band tonight. And the rest of the weekend, we're getting Declan ready to start school on Monday. So that's going to be awesome. and probably spending some time building Cal and Stan videos. Nice. And getting ready for next week with great content that lifts people up every morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I said it earlier this week. And Johnny talked about it on the show. I'm starting to hate the weekends. Like, I can't do a show. I gotta get Saturday.
Brother.
I said it.
Gotta correct you. What is it about the weekend?
I'm starting to not like to lean into the weekends. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to say here, Keith. But what I'm saying is I'm not looking forward to the weekends as much as I used to because I don't get to do a show or I don't have a show. But maybe I'll just start going live on a whim because I got things I got to say and people I want to communicate with. So
it's funny.
Monday through Friday, I love getting up every day and doing the show. It's the start of my day. It's given me purpose. We talked about that. I know I don't want to chat too much here, but it's given me a purpose. I used to flounder and hate waking up, and now I have a commitment to the community, to the audience. It gets my day started. It puts me into the rhythm of a system. It's amazing. And I know there are people out there listening that want to do it, and we can help them do it too.
And Matt, I'm glad you said that, man, because that is often what many people question whether they can do it. It's like, no, you got to get up anyways. So if you can get up and find a way to start your day positively, schedule this as a 30-minute, 15-minute, 1 hour meeting to start your day. You start it, you're done. You set the tone, you set the conversation. But most importantly, Matt, I think anyways, when you're done and you know it, you go look in the mirror, you're like, yeah, I got up, I filled my purpose. I had a conversation with the community. Now my day is started. There's no excuses. There's no what ifs, can'ts, shoulds. You've done it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we do it daily and it's amazing. What we do is hard, but we do it daily. Even weekly, I think could help people if they decide every Wednesday, I've got a 30-minute meeting or an hour-long meeting and I'm preparing for it. It gives you purpose. It gives you a cycle and a system in the week. I absolutely, I'm living it every day. I'm up to 7 weeks now, 35 episodes. I'm not giving up. I'm not only not giving up, I'm growing and it's amazing and we're not going anywhere. So join us as an audience member and reach out to us and we'll give you your channel, your stage to express yourself.
Hey, Matt, what's been the biggest, I wasn't even considering asking this, but since we're talking about it, what's been the biggest surprise for you as a human being making this commitment?
It's a good question. So for me, the biggest surprise for me has been, two things, I think. One is how hard it's been, honestly. That's been a huge surprise, but how much fun it is. And when I lean into the fun, how easy it becomes. It's a lot of work. It's a commitment to do an everyday show. But I just am so motivated and energized by this. I talk to Heather about it all the time. I have found my purpose in this. So I don't know if that answered your question. Oh, Petro's here. I don't know if that answered your question exactly, but for me, it's good. How much fun I'm having doing this. It's been incredible. I'm finding my voice. That's the other thing. I didn't know that I'm still learning on how to find my voice, and I feel like it's coming out every day.
Oh, it is. Ever since we had that conversation last week, I'm hearing Rufy's voice coming out, and I'm loving it. Speaking of loving it, Matt, if you can stick around for a couple minutes with me and Petro Shelley's joining the show here, the Bullshit Pro. Something spawned for you to jump into the chat here today, Petro. What's going on, brother? The Nordique.
Well, it's been the entire week, I think. I mean, you guys are talking about a lot of really important things.
Yes.
I'll just leave it at 3. Okay.
All right. I'm leaning in.
You take me or leave me too. It's no pressure here, but all right. Rufy's method, using multiple opinions, like just listening.
Yes.
To multiple opinions. It's like right on target. You guys are talking about sort of
truth filters,
like misinformation. That's right in line with E.O. Wilson's idea on when to believe something. And that he said that's when you find out there's like a consilience of inductions, he called it, when there is a sort of multiple lines of inquiry, sort of all coming to the same conclusion, and that's why science is great, because scientists find it very, fun to show that other scientists are wrong. So we're not all in the, on the same team and kind of trying to show the same things. We often trying to show other scientists.
You guys are competitive. You guys are competing with each other.
Yeah. So when they're all coming to like sort of the same conclusion, independent lines of reputable inquiry, it's usually a pretty good idea. But the other way to do that is just to listen. It's to you have to do you kind of have to do the work. You kind of have to survey the room, and I think that's huge. So my plan is working. My plan is working excellent. I'm trying to change the communicative culture. That bullshit is not, it's at least questioned.
John Petrocelli, the bullshit professor, joining us here on Fun Fridays. Ross Mayab is back. Good to have you back, Ross. Ross from Long Island. Oh, good timing. He's back for the prof. We've had Petrocelli listening to the show all week, and he's coming in to drop some nuggets. So we've got one. And the first nugget he's given us is that Matt was right. If we're looking to find truth filters, listen. Because what I'm hearing from Petrocelli, and he's told us this last time, Matt, when he's here on the show, if you listen to enough bullshitters over time, you start to know what the bullshit sounds like and smells like. So you can take that listening and move it aside and walk towards what you believe is truth. Am I correct, John Petrocelli?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, even just listen for Matt Ruffey. I mean, he's usually right on target. I mean, I love this guy. I mean, he has his own methods, but they're usually like, I would say like, backed by empirical support.
Yes. All right, number two.
Number two would be the importance of asking good questions. There's one other benefit that you guys didn't touch on as much, and that is the social perceptions that people have of you when you ask good questions. And I, as a social psychologist, I would be remiss if I didn't plug an old study from 1970s that Snyder and others had done. They gave participants in their study different Polaroid pictures of people that they were allegedly talking to on the telephone. And then they recorded these conversations. And so what they did is they manipulated the attractiveness of the Polaroid picture, or the person in the Polaroid picture. And they had men and women speaking on the phone, but it was always the same woman, and they just varied the picture that the men thought they were talking with, right? And so then they had independent coders after the conversations were coded to rate, well, how interesting was the man, how charismatic, how humorous, how likable, all of these things. And they were always rated much more positively when those men expected they were talking with the attractive female.
Of course.
Because their questions tended to be, what you mentioned earlier, Keith, was open-ended questions.
Yeah.
As opposed to like just yes and no kinds of questions that kind of killed the conversation. So there's a huge benefit, even if you can't find yourself to be interesting. Well, interested people are usually interesting.
So Ross Mayab comes back and says, that's how I got all the ladies in high school. Asking the best questions definitely takes me up from a 3 to a solid 4. That's awesome. Ross's first day on the show here, dropping bombs in the community. Professor goes equals finger trills and becomes an evil professor. He says, joking, got to give the BS artist some of his favorite form of art. I love it. Yeah. That's awesome. We got Ross Maya joining us from Long Island, John Petrocelli. And then, John, the third thing, man, I'm loving this, man. We might be having a segment showing up here, which is
I was just thinking that, yeah.
Petro listens to the show all week, and he comes in on Fridays to give us this fucking downgrade from the professor. I love it. What's up, Professor? Number 3, brother?
Yeah, number 3 would be more stoicism. I want to plug more stoicism. You had a great guest on
Charmin.
Wednesday.
Charmin.
Yes, that I'll tell you, that's the one philosophical kind of roots that is in the most empirically supported psychotherapeutic approach that is better known as cognitive behavioral therapy. There's deep roots of stoicism and sort of the whole idea of perspective taking that's like the foundation of cognitive behavioral therapy. And again, that's the most empirically validated therapy out there. And you could probably do an entire week, I think,
on stoicism.
I mean, you could. There's lots of good authors out there, but yeah, just to talk about, to see like, well, what are the basic principles? What is it? Because people talk about it, and there is unfortunately quite a bit of bullshit surrounding it, because it's just kind of thrown out there, and it's like, but there's usually like 4 or 5 like basic principles, but you'll find these things alive and well in what your average cognitive behavioral therapist is doing in their 55-minute hours with clients, is trying to change perspective taking and show them, like even if the farm burnt down and the dog died, that it's more of the perspective you take about it. And that really all comes back to stoicism. That's like a major cornerstone of it. So I would just say plug it.
Yeah.
What? I'd say we could do more than a single episode. I think Cher Cruz needs her own show.
Mm-hmm.
Stoicism show with Cher Cruz, right? It's huge. I agree with you 100%. My sister is a licensed clinical psychologist in Rochester, New York, and she and I have talked about stoicism and CBT and the approaches. I think it's amazing. So I think you're onto something there, Prof.
Hey, Petro, do you think stoicism is one of those fad type discussions?
Yeah, I think for whatever reason,
it's an internet thing where folks just want to talk stoicism, but it's wrapped up in so much bullshit.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm just speculating, perhaps, but so I'm putting my bullshit disqualifier, out there. I'm guessing since the Gladiator movie, and people found out that Marcus Aurelius was sort of a sort of leader in Stoicism, and I don't even know if that's to be honest, I don't even know if that's the same guy, but I think since then that you hear that word, it's kind of thrown around, and they're usually talking about just like one of the 4 or 5 principles, but so I think it is a little faddish, but like if you dig into it, you realize like, wow, there's really only one principle that I don't really subscribe to. The whole thing with kind of sort of getting in touch with nature and all of that, I think that's a little bullshitty, but everything else is all, major foundations of what has been empirically validated as major principles of the most empirically validated therapy out there. So
awesome.
So can I chime real quick?
Yes.
Because I have a difference of opinion on the getting back to nature thing, because I'm a hippie at heart, and I know for myself, and this is only again my experience, when I get back to nature, when I get outside, I touch grass, I hug a tree, whatever the case may be, go on a hike, that changes my perspective. It can move me from inside my head to understanding that the world is bigger than myself. So I'm not sure if that aligns entirely with Stoicism, but I know for myself, my own experience is that there's a big world out there, and when I interact with it, I'm able to bring a better self.
Roseanne Roof, the truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. Let it loose. It will defend itself. Michael coming back with Michael come back with saying stoicism can be a first step to reprogram the brain. And then we got Bernard dazzle them with the brilliance or baffle them with BS. And then Ross, I don't want to completely derail the convo, but actually I kind of do want to make a big idea go viral. I got a hot take that Romans were OG Nazis when you take a real honest look at history of oppression. But I do believe in most Stoic principles. Interesting. Well, so here's what I'll say to that. One thing you'll find, Ross, on this show is I love welcoming opinions. I love welcoming curiosity and conversations. So I will admit I don't know much about the hot take you're throwing on the table, but you know, when you make a statement like that, it's worth leaning perhaps further into. Maddie, John, any comments on Ross Mayab's comment?
I guess it wouldn't be a question technically, but it would be, and that would be one of my best questions is just tell me more about that.
There you go. I love that. We're on the show today about question asking and how to ask better questions. So Ross, would love to have you back to continue that conversation. Michael, philosophy focused on living a virtuous life by cultivating wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation, regardless of external consequences. Hey, Ross, if you want to join the conversation, good call, Jimmy. Ross, you can join it right now. I invite you to come join us right now. 431-300-3005. I will bring you into the show right now, Ross Mayab. I'm telling you, man, you found yourself a safe community of conversation and welcoming humans. 431-300-3005. The phone lines are open. It is actually 1985, Ross. This is old school radio happening on YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. Petro, what do you got going on this weekend, brother? What do you got going on in your world?
Oh, same old. I'm back at school on Monday.
Yeah.
Back at it.
Matt, did you notice his hat?
I did notice his hat. I love the old Nordiques logo. That's
that would be
amazing.
number 4. Bring back the Nordiques.
There you go.
Bring back the Nordiques. The John Petrocelli this morning on Mornings in the Lab on the Mornings in the Lab
Bring back the Nordiques campaign.
That's it.
Awesome.
Okay, well, Jimmy, we're going to walk Matty out. We're going to walk Petro out. Matt, we'll see you later, brother. Petro, I love you.
I will see you at 2:30 Eastern. We're going live, right?
That's 2:30 Eastern time on the live Mornings Live network, guys. You need to be here's the thing. You need to be a member of the community to be a part of that conversation happening later today, 2:30 Eastern time. Maddie, we'll see you later. John, I always love when you join, so thank you for jumping in today, okay?
All right, good to see you guys.
All right, take care.
Conversation, Professor. Good luck with your start of your semester, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. John Petrocelli's out of here. Matty Roof's out of here. And we are going to do, Jimmy, let's roll to the community corner, brother. What's going on, nation? Fellas. When your stress levels get high, hey, good time. My septic tank's getting pumped out right now. Yeah, I told them to come in the afternoon. I can see that they listened very well. Lauren just sent me a text. The septic guy's here. I said afternoon. I said, I'm doing a live show. But fellas, when your stress levels get high, Ross, we'll get back to you, brother. We're moving the show on. This is a fast-moving show, brother. We get after. We go. We are now in the community corner segment, where we like to celebrate folks over on YouTube, Substack, and LinkedIn right here on Mornings in the Lab as part of the Mornings in the Lab live network. And today we're going to look at a single but powerful stress-relieving technique, why most people suck at habits, and how one guy's health scare made him rethink the priorities. You're right, good time. It's Friday. They're like, nah, fuck, they wanted me to come in the afternoon? I need to go have a beer. I'm going to go pump Keith's tank in the morning. Like, what? All right, let's move on to start over on YouTube. Andrew Huberman's 10-second stress killer. All right, so Right Example shared a clip featuring Andrew Huberman. This one is gold. Right Example? I had to double look at my notes here. I'm like, yeah, right example. There you go. Huberman breaks down the physiological sigh. 2 quick inhales through the nose, followed by a long exhale through the mouth. That's it. You do it once and your nervous system shifts from fight or flight to calm and focused. Lady Drew, put your phone away, Drew. Huberman says this method I'm talking about is one of the fastest stress resets out there, and the science backs it up. So here's an idea. When your alarm goes off, sit up straight and do this 3 psychological sighs instead of hitting snooze and turning over. Think about that. And if you need to settle your nerves before something stressful like a meeting, well, do the breath work. It's free, it's proven, and it works in 10 seconds. What's going on? Quick enough. I always want to be in fight or flight. It helps with football. Awesome. Quick enough. Thanks for joining the show here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and John. Being calm is not conducive to being tackled. Yeah, to getting tackled. That's fair. Awesome. Quick enough. Where are you joining me from today? I'm appreciative that you decided to join the show, and I'm very grateful that you decided to send me a message, because I know it takes energy, it takes time, it takes commitment, and you chose to send me a message. So I'm really grateful for that, and I'm being serious, not sarcastic. Where are you coming from, brother? If you haven't joined the channel, I invite you to subscribe to it. We go live here every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time. 8 o'clock Eastern time. Yeah, we've been going on for a year and a half, and I started this 2 years ago. So you can know that we'll be around in years from now. So if you're making a commitment to us, we will make a commitment to you. Thank you, MD. Dropped Maryland. Yes, Maryland. Is that? Am I right? Quick enough, Maryland. Am I saying it right? Dropped a like for you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Ross Mayab, you guys rock. No, Ross, you rock, because if you're not here, I don't have a job. Yeah, even though this is the best non-paying job on the planet. But the reality is, guys, is that with you here, it gives us a reason to create content to get you guys up and after it. All right, let's move our attention to Substack. Why your habits. Habit. People just hate habits. Why? Your habits keep failing. Well, over on Substack, Jai Stravinus drops a truth bomb in his piece, How I Stopped Failing at Habits. You see, most humans, not all, but most humans, they just go too big. They go too fast, and then they flame out. They try to do 8,000 things at once. Motivation fizzles, perfection trips us up, and we try to change 5 things at once. Well, Jai's fix is to shrink the habit until it's unbreakable. 2 minutes of meditation, 1 paragraph of writing, 1 push-up, anchor it, then stack it. Because when you slip, you can use the never miss twice rule to stay on track, or you can just invite yourself to always begin again. I want to hear from you guys. Why do you think sticking to habits are so hard? Why do you think that people hate the word habits? Oh, I got a bad habit. I don't like a habit. Maybe a habit, flip it on its head. Maybe a habit is actually accountability in disguise. Let's move it over to LinkedIn. Ross, I see your comment there, coming back to in a quick second. 10 rules born from a heart scare. Adam P. Boyd shared a powerful story on LinkedIn about a health crisis that had put him in a heart hospital for 4 days. That scare became a reset button. He stopped living by comparisons, and he created 10 simple rules of life that keep him in grounded reality. Things like comparison. Comparison is a ruthless virus. Do less, and slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. These aren't flashy hacks or new ideas, but they're awesome reminders about the power of awareness, intention, and consistency. So, Nation, I ask you, what are your top 3 rules of life? Let me know in the comments. And if you're joining the show after live, let me see you in the Mornings in the Lab community. All right, guys, that's it. Remember, if you want your story featured, we'll put you on stage. We'll shine the light on you. Come tag us over on LinkedIn. Come tag us on YouTube. Come tag us on Substack so that we can get you guys featured in a community corner segment that we run every single day here at around 8:30 Eastern time. Not today. Freedom and fun for all Friday. Going into overtime and having a lot of fun with you guys today on the show. All right, we're going to move over to the Creator Spotlight, you guys. Where this part of the show, we take a couple of big lights and we shine them on people doing great things on LinkedIn, Substack, and YouTube. Today, we're going to start that journey of shining the light on somebody on LinkedIn. His name might start with Matthew.
Every business depends on technology. Few leaders want to deal with it until it breaks. That's where this creator steps in. He helps companies cut wasted time and frustration by fixing the unglamorous tools they can't live without, like printers and document systems. Outside of business, he's raising 4 kids he calls giant slayers and challenging other men to step up as intentional fathers. The lab is celebrating Matthew Wells, the business technology warrior. Follow him for straight talk on faith, fatherhood, and building systems at work and at home.
Matthew Wells. He sees life in battles that most people overlook. At work, it's printers, processes, and the tech that stalls entire teams when it fails. At home, it's raising 4 kids to think and act like leaders. And what ties it together is how he fights those battles. Not with flash, not with noise, but by being steady, showing up, and fixing what's broken so others can move forward. Well, Matthew Wells, would love to have you here on the show. True story. Love to have you on the show so we can learn a little about you, take the big light, Mr. Intentional Fatherhood, and pass you the Creator Spotlight so you can shine it on somebody in your community, Matthew Wells, and celebrate somebody on our future show on Mornings in the Lab Network. Community Corner, the Creator Spotlight, right here on Mornings in the Lab. Jimmy, let's get to the next one over on Substack. That guy whose name starts with Damon.
What does it really mean to be a man today? For some, the answers feel trapped between empty labels and extremes. But there's a new conversation happening that makes space for men to thrive in their relationships and with themselves. From counseling middle schoolers to training clients in the gym to coaching leaders in fitness, the guy we're spotlighting is reshaping the narrative around masculinity. Meet Damon Mitchell, creator of As You Are on Substack, and a coach who believes the most important relationship you'll ever build is the one with yourself.
Yes, we are celebrating Damon, and I just moved my notes. The conversation that Damon is leading is bigger than one man's story. Oh yeah, baby. It's about reshaping the space where men are allowed to show up as they are, without labels, without extremes, without shame. That's the heart of As You Are. It's not just another newsletter. No, there's enough of those fucking things. It's a gathering place for men who want to build stronger families, healthier partnerships, and deeper faith by first facing themselves with honesty. Because when men strengthen the relationship they have with themselves, every other connection benefits. So Damon, the invite is open for you, brother. We'd love to have you on the show. We'd love to have you on Mornings in the Lab. Love to have you and that big smile on the show so we can give you the Creator Spotlight, hand it over to you so you can take the spotlight and shine it on somebody in your community as part of an upcoming future segment, the Community Corner, on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and John. Every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. All right, guys, listen. We're going to work towards wrapping it up here. I haven't told Jimmy yet, but that's what we're going to do. I think I might have something quickly to tease about the Inside the AI stuff. I'm going to get there in a quick second. But before we do that, guys, you guys can join the show with us right now. If you have something to say, phone lines are open. I want to hear from you. Ross, I see your comment. Ross, don't call me Ross Mayab. To learn, wander, to achieve focus. Yes. Let me see here. I'm just looking up here. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Just call me Ross. I put that there to remind myself to MIOB, so I stay in my own lane. Mind my own business. Love that. And do one thing at a time. The struggle is real. Oh, do you chase squirrels too, Ross? Well, I can tell you right now, man, there's a lot of people on this show chase. Hold on, there's a fucking squirrel over here. Yeah, we chase squirrels on this show, Ross. We're always chasing squirrels. I hate the word routine. No, hold on, Ross, brother. You're new here. I'm setting the rules. We don't use the word hate here because we want to reframe it. Because when you use that word in your head, you've just set a negative tone of energy that does you no good at all. I'm going to invite you to reframe it. I strongly dislike the idea of doing something repetitively. But I know you well enough to know that you know that if you do something repetitively, it gives you success. Right, Ross? Right? I know you. So I know that you just misspoke there because I know you're a guy who likes to explore new things. So like me, I had Anderson work that word hate out of my vocabulary because it doesn't do me any good. So I always like to reframe things in a way that moves my language and my community and my life forward. So guys, I invite you again to join the show, 431-300-305. Come say hi in the comments. And as we wrap up here today, guys, if you're not a member of the community, I invite you to do so. Our show is free. We are putting stuff behind the paywall in the Mornings in the Lab community. There's a few different levels. I think it's $3, 15, and 20, or whatever it is. Not to line Keith's pockets, not to make Keith rich, not to make John rich. No, to reinvest back into the community so that we can all get rich over time. Guys, this is not just a little thing we're building here. My vision here is to create the biggest live mornings platform on the planet. True story. I've come, Ross, you don't know me. I've successfully bootstrapped a social media company, sold it for millions of dollars. So I've been around the block before. I'd like to think I know what I'm doing with this. And we are growing and building a large... Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. You look at the history of media and networking. The history of media and broadcasting. Let's talk about it. Right? Western broadcasters broadcast at, talk at. One way. Meet us, them to us. Them to us. Broadcast at. You look at radio. Broadcast at. Sirius XM. Broadcast at. Podcasts. Fucking record it and listen. You can't even do anything with it. There's not a place on the planet right now where there's content and conversation that goes both ways. But there is a place today. It's called the Mornings in the Lab Live Network. Every single day, Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, we'll get to weekends soon. We are creating a place for men and women to get up at 7:30 Eastern Time with Matt and continue with myself and John and all the friends here to talk entertaining conversation, inspiring conversation, inspiring content through a conversation, not me talking at. That's what I'm most proud of. So Ross, you're welcome here to have a conversation. True story. Jerry Springer show circa 1996. I'll tell you right now, Ross, if you're dropping Springer bombs, you're going to do just fine on this show. True story. We got Michael, that hat reminds me of a racetrack gambler in the 1920s. That's a good one. Okay. Well, let me see here. I'm going to click some buttons in front of me, and we're going to see where this next number of minutes takes us. So I do have a couple topics in the lab, in the inside the AI lab, and I think what I'm going to do though. So it's considering that we're working towards doing some stuff behind the wall here later today. Let me see here. So I got two things. I think I'm actually going to put them aside. Instead of simply asking AI for help, you let it ask the questions first. I'm going to do this one next week or even behind our conversation later today. So I think what we're going to do, Jim, is we're going to, we have such a fun show here today on Free For All Friday. We've had such an engaging show, engaging audience, great questions. We're going to put our Inside the AI Lab segment on hold today. And because we are doing our Inside the AI Lab behind the scenes show with Matt Roof and myself later today. So that's what we're going to do, guys. 10:30 Eastern Time. Jim, we're going to work towards wrapping it up. Guys, come back Monday. Ross, we'll see you Monday. Bernard, we'll see you Monday. Lady Drew, we'll see you Monday. Live, of course. But doesn't mean we're not going anywhere. You will find me and the entire community in the Mornings in the Lab community all weekend. So if you're looking for connection, conversation, or send me a text, I might surprise you and respond. True story. What was your guys' favorite part of the show today? Love to hear from you. All right. So Jim, Ross, I appreciate you, brother. Peace out. On behalf of Jimmy, Melissa, who's enjoying a well-deserved day today to herself, much deserved. Jimmy's going to get out of here. Keith's going to get out of here. And I will see you guys maybe later this afternoon in the mornings in the lab. Community doing some stuff. Michael with some final words here. The number 3 has 1 and a 2 with it. And 1, 2, 3 equals 6. 6 is afraid of 7 because 7, 8, 9. Numerology is not my strong point. Michael dropping some humor into the show before we rock and roll. Good time. The pumping of the septic was the best part. Hey, good time. I think they're done. You guys got some things to say before we say goodbye? I appreciate all of you guys for joining us today. Hopefully my wife's still here. I can go give her a hug and a kiss before she heads off to work for the day. And we got Ross. Can't wait to see where pop culture went wrong, from Jerry Springer to Howard Stern to Real World MTV. Well, and Ross, I'll tell you, man, I'd be lying to you if I'm not leaning into those culprits for what we're creating here. We're creating a circus. We're creating ridiculousness. We're stepping into the 80s, the 90s. We're stepping into stuff that I grew up with. I grew up with Stern. I grew up with Springer. I grew up with all that bullshit, man. And I'm growing up in a world of all this AI bullshit that I think is so ridiculous, which is why I lean into the humor of it. So if you see stuff that doesn't look like it's spelled corrected, or looks like the person's physics are off with their body, fuck, who cares, man? It's all ridiculous. It's all ridiculous. But listen, I'll see you guys on Monday, guys. I'll see you guys over the weekend in the community. Have a good one, guys. Swarm on, B Drive. See you guys. Ciao.